eternity. Rise with me. For who can stop a god?
What if you could have your heart's deepest desire? The divine power to transform.
There's some of the best tangents, especially the Hogwarts ones.
That is true.
You're alive.
Hello.
No, you're live.
We are all...
Okay.
Excuse me. Yeah, you're live.
Yeah.
Hello,
Part of
everyone.
me's here,
Welcome
not
to
all of me.
D&D Play 20 does Vecna. That didn't sound right, actually, now that I think about it.
Vecna,
D&D
evil
plays Vecna. It's been a while. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I think Peter missed that, which is good. We have the normal cast, minus our friendly, grumpy robot. But she will be back. She's just, taking it easy. In the meantime, I think everyone should all, introduce themselves like usual. We can roll some dice, because that's what we're here for. So go ahead and roll a d20. That'd be nice. That would get this party
9.
started.
Wasted that roll.
Did I waste a nat 20?
14.
A 19, not a nat 20, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm last.
14. So I guess that's me?
No, I got a 19. That's me.
Oh, 19. I heard 9. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Hi, I'm Saint. I play Milo, who is a reborn, short, weird mix of barbarian and wizard. It doesn't make any sense. It's fine. We're doing it.
But that oddly works somehow. We're still not sure how, but it does. So.
I just took everything to get my AC as high as possible, and we're just seeing what happens while it is.
Yeah. I could blade thing and then raid? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
But
that's
she
gonna be
is
my next character. In Baldur's Gate. Blade Sting.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun.
She is just kind of along for the ride. She kind of got dragged here accidentally by Estra, who is her companion.
I think
Yeah.
you each see each other as their own companion. That's the fun part.
No, she's definitely mine.
Okay,
Like,
right.
she was built to be my, built-in bestie.
Literally.
She just sees it more of as a job than I do.
True. Yeah. That's fun.
But yeah, we were just, we finished that adventure, we were doing some research, we were hopping along some planes, as we normally do, but we'll be back if they need us, so. That's all. Just hanging around. Seeing what happens, seeing when it finds us.
Alright. And that is Milo. Alright. Let's keep it rolling with Xenoth.
Hi, I'm Brandon. I am playing Xenoth. He is an ASMR Way of the Open Hand monk. He's also a short person. We have a tiny group here. Although he's 4 feet, so he's technically medium, but even though he's still on the shorter end of medium. Yeah, he is here doing work for a few different people, but mostly who he follows for Stray. Yeah. He's quite young, 25. All these people are quite older than him, so he's kind of still learning a lot of things, but I think more wise in certain other areas than these guys. And over to Peter.
Yeah.
Hi, I am Peter. I am playing Lazarus, who at one time was human, but is now a kobold.
Was he dead?
Yeah, ironically, he was the tallest, and now he's the shortest, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm,
I don't know.
probably.
My Saint likes having the smallest character, usually. So.
Lies! Slander!
Character.
But anyways, I play a Tempest Cleric who is from another world. and was pulled into this world. And now he's just trying to be what he is. And he can't even do that because the DM turned him into a kobold.
No, you roll the kobold, sir.
I guess that's fair.
No, he was human.
I
He was a
don't-
variant human before.
Yeah.
It's been a
But
while,
you
but
died and you
I don't know
got
what you're talking about.
reincarnated. But
He's always
so
been a
you did
kobold,
roll a kobold. Kobold
Oh.
at heart.
He's always been a kobold. It's fine.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything.
visionist history.
Kobold with
Not
human skin.
revisionist,
Yep.
just visionist.
It's my
And
history.
I will popcorn it back to the awesome DM who is not going to hit us with any nat 20s today. Professor
Why would you
Dracon.
jinx us
I
immediately?
absolutely never guaranteed that, but sure, it's sweet for you to think that I would make such a promise. Yes, hello, I'm Raza. I am the DM for these wacky people, and I'm happy to roleplay this game because I have to admit that Vecna is one of my favorite villains of all time. So I'm happy to use him to slaughter them in due time. So, hello.
Yeah.
But
Yay.
let's not get ahead of ourselves. You know, I've got plenty of time for them to die again.
We got 2 hours and 50 minutes.
We'll
We're good.
probably, yeah, we'll pick up where we believe we left off, with
Mhm.
everyone coming back from a job well done in the Shadowfell, which they didn't actually think they would end up in the Shadowfell. That was just part of what happened.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes these things happen in, Neverwinter. There's, cracks of dusk that suck you in and spit you out in the Shadowfell, and you have to navigate around and not get eaten by vampire spawn. Yeah, and then you have to fight abominations in the tomb for the lonely Sorrowsworn, so, happens. But they made it back, and I do believe they broke that curse to boot. I don't think they realized what they did, but, they escaped the Shadowfell with the people they were meant to save, and I believe were well rewarded for their just, just job well done, I suppose. That's what I'm trying to say. I can't speak English today. They were very well compensated for it. And I do believe we only think slightly touched upon what they were going to do, but I guess we will go over. As they were rewarded with a place to stay, all of them decided to do their own things. I think one of the members actually might have decided to join in with the other two's ventures and across space and time, or maybe just space. So I guess we'll use the initiative, because I'll get them to tell you what they were doing. Well, I guess I could set it up for dear old Milo. So Milo and Estra basically picked up where they left off. They went back to exploring the plains, but also do some research on the Vecnans, or Vecnids as I like to call them. I do believe at some point Xenoth was invited to travel with them. We'll get to Xenoth in a moment. But yeah, Milo,
Yeah, at some point.
anything you want to add to that? Like anything that you guys did specifically, apart from research and traveling?
No. We would have
Not really.
continued kind of what we were doing before we got pulled here. Which was just, if while we were out traveling, heard people needed help, we would have gone and assisted them. Mostly so Milo could punch something, because I got new gloves and I want to test them out. Other than that, though, once Estra got bored of traveling a little bit, I would let her drag me back to the library to research, and I'd help with that. I don't like it as much as she does, but I'm good at it, so it's fine. We would have run into Xenoth because he would have been at the library too. We would have dragged him on a couple of jobs with us just cause.
Just can't.
Just cause exploration. He hasn't been out much. He needs some socialization. Um, I don't think we. The only reason we didn't take Lazarus with us is because I don't think you were at the library.
No, I wasn't.
Nope.
Yeah,
I
so we
assume.
wouldn't have really crossed paths with Lazarus. But if we had, we would have taken him too, just because why not? But yeah, that's it. We didn't do too much. We would have just been whatever popped up, and then research on Vecna. And also to see if there was a way to get back to our own regular plane, or at least one of the planes we've been to before. Because we've done a little plane hopping ourselves, but we didn't actually mean to come here. So just try to see where in the plane spectrum we are. Exactly, yeah.
I like it. I think if you taking your time to do some research and explore around, I think I would say that it's only fair that you would get advantage on anything relating to the cult and anything like that, or any further investigations into space and time. Cool. A month well spent, I would say. I guess as a segue, because Xenoth was involved. Xenoth.
Yep.
Xenoth, you had a few things that you wanted to do.
I had a lot. He's gonna be
specifically,
busy. Yeah.
He was a busy guy.
You want me to go over? Want me to go over everything?
Wanted to. Sure. And I guess you'd be better off describing how this all went down.
So, because we were all given our own place to live, either to be built or repaired or just purchased outright for us, Xenoth never had a home. He's always lived in a temple. So, for him, home's a temple. So, he would either find an old abandoned temple, church, or something, have them renovate it because they're paying for everything. He would not keep it. He would pretty much like turn it into like a half temple, half dojo, and convert it to pretty much like an orphanage. So he would give it to the city when he's done to use as what they want. He would set it up for like not a big orphanage, like more like 20 to 30 youngish. This is just more for anyone who really needs a place, but who like can come and go as they please. That's on the outside. On the inside, he's going to hand it over to the hands of his Harper contact so that he can have them use it as a front for training new members. That's what he's doing for his month. And then eventually going back and forth to the library to see if he can find any information out about the Vecna cult. And then when he finds Estra and Milo, try and figure out what they want to do and where they want to go, because he knows about extraplanar travel, but that's something he's always been interested in, but never done. The place he really wants to go is the Outlands or Sigil. That's the top two on his list. So that's pretty much all he's doing. And he'd try and find a place that's near where his parents live. Yeah.
Makes sense.
He originally was going to give it to them, and then he thought he could do more than that because he hasn't seen them and they already have a place. So, yeah. That's his plan.
Good.
Be a busy month.
Right. So, just one thing. Did your Harper contact, Joanna, I believe is her name, did she know your plans, or were you just out of the blue?
I would have had to find her and let her know what I had planned. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like when you told her of your plans to refurbish like a certain location, like a dojo or something, like orphanage, to take care of and create basically more agents, to give them a home at the very least. This is her, by the way. She probably would have looked at you with surprise, but I think she probably would have agreed with it.
Mm-hmm.
She perhaps, as you said, never saw it coming, but she
Nope.
wasn't going to
Like,
turn down such a
first job
generous
they
offer.
ever gave him, he just completed.
Oh.
Yep.
I don't think she's a woman of many words, but I think she would have given you the nod. She would have been all too happy to help you with that.
Yep.
Again, that's a good boon for you and the Harpers.
Yep.
Yeah, with that, I think we can make a segue to our kobold who is not online.
Is Peter here?
Peter.
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. All right.
All right. So while Milo and Estra were busy traveling and researching, and Xenoth was building an orphanage, basically, setting up an orphanage, what were you doing?
First off, I have a question. What's this about
Yes.
being given a piece of property or a home or whatever? Did everyone get that, or?
So basically, you were rewarded. That's true. Basically, you were rewarded with property for Lord Neverember for a job well done.
Okay, well, Lazarus.
You could basically deeds. Yeah, you could pick out a place, or they could give you a place. Yeah. So what will Lazarus done?
Lazarus is not from this world, and he doesn't plan to stay in this world. So he will give his property to one of his teammates. And it'll be Estra, because that's who I rolled. So
I'm pretty sure for Estra's, I think she just translate that into an even larger library.
Yeah, I was thinking
this
that.
is just
Like,
extra book
more
storage.
space for books.
Yeah. So
or maybe a little workshop. Yeah.
And then I will live in Xenoth's shelter. For now.
Xenoth shelter.
Right? You said that you take in the homeless, right?
I
you
said
set
I'd
yourself
create
up
an
there.
orphanage for yeah.
I'm
well,
small
the last
like
time
a
you
kid.
went in a place important to him, you started to steal stuff. So
I won't
there's
steal
definitely a
stuff because that was a month and a half ago. So
Yeah, but you don't have
That's-
anything to steal there
Years
yet.
No, this is true.
Would he
I'd
steal from the
probably
orphans? I wonder.
immediately put you to work cleaning
okay,
and helping clean it. Yeah.
okay, I
Xenoth,
can live with that.
I'll set up a cabinet with an arcane lock for you and give you the password so you can hide stuff from sticky fingers.
That would be great. Thank you.
Sticky
Yeah,
fingers.
you got it.
For the viewers, I missed last session, and that session was a little while back. So
Yeah.
I really don't know what I was doing when I wasn't playing or last time I played. So I'm
I was
just
playing a
going
character.
to be
Mhm.
okay. So
You
so
were the
what was
healing bot,
Lazarus doing?
basically. Healing. That was pretty much. Oh, I was healing and tossing out guiding
For
bolts
once, he
left,
was
right,
doing
and
his
center.
job. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
So I would. What do you mean for once doing my job? I
You
was
didn't run
learning
away
new
this
spells in the downtime. There
Yep.
we go.
All right. But you would have just mainly stayed in Neverwinter with Xenoth, then being put to work.
Yep. Slave labor. See how he is? I was willing to pay for rent, but okay.
And Xenoth never
Actually, I
had
should
money,
check my
and this
balance.
is all being given to him, so he wouldn't really know what to do with money.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Over a course of a month and maybe a bit,
Mhm.
all of the involved parties that took down, well, helped take down the cult that was
Yep.
setting up shop in Neverwinter have been busy.
Took an extra day
traveling,
longer than we thought
researching.
because we were kidnapped and then had to
Yeah.
leave. But yeah,
Basically.
got our
Yeah.
butts handed to us twice.
Making
But yeah,
making connections.
hmm
Building shelters and training people be their best.
yep.
We had some trying to make up reparations for being sticky fingers, and yeah, over the course of this month, all of you, even the ones that haven't spent much time here in the city, would have been acknowledged by the rest of the populace. Like, you wouldn't be able to walk down the street without people actually knowing more or less who you were. I mean, word
Yeah.
spreads fast in a big city. No one was, especially uh, with such high-profile people that you saved, uh, they would sometimes drop in from time to time. Uh, from the over-the-top actress to the comely priest, very humble priest.
hmm
Uh, I do believe they had a gnome historian that probably would have come and talked to Estra and Milo if they were around at that home when they dropped by, adding to their personal knowledge. Yes, a lot can happen in a month.
hmm
And as all of you um, find yourselves uh, feeling, I guess, accomplished in all that you've been trying to do in the meantime, could I get everyone to tell me what they're doing at this moment? This is obviously after, like, you've done all your research and helped the
hmm
kids and cleaned up. Right now, we'll start with Milo. Uh, what would you be doing? It doesn't even have to be in Neverwinter. What would you be
Um,
right now at the end of the month?
let's see.
A curveball. I love it.
Estra and I are on our way back from one of our trips. So we're not quite in Neverwinter
Okay,
yet, but we are on our way back. Whether or
on
not
our way.
Xenoth is
All
with
right.
us, that's up to him. But yeah, I'd say we're on our way back.
I mean, Xenoth could roll to see if he's with you or not. Xenoth, did you want to roll to see if you're with them or not, or where would you be?
Near the end of I
I don't know.
probably near the end of the month I would definitely yeah I would definitely near the end of the month be probably with them, as long as things were starting to get set up at my place, because I doubt it would be open in a month. It would probably take that long to get it ready. So as long as they
Okay.
were working and everything was going right, I probably would have waited to the end of the month before I went with them. So I probably am with them. Yeah.
Okay.
They will notice
And
a
last but
little
not
bit of a
least,
thing, though. Sorry.
no, no, sorry.
Anytime Xenos wakes up in the morning, you'd be able to tell that he's got some sort of aura on him that's never been there before.
Curious.
A little different. For hitting a
Uh,
level 11, I wake up with the Sanctuary spell that it lasts until I get rid of it.
you know what? I wish I had that in my other games. Just wake up and have Sanctuary. Can't attack me, Belgier.
Yeah. Literally
Uh,
wake up and I have Sanctuary on me until I get rid of it. Last 24 hours.
Also, if Belvedere is watching the stream, you know what you did. You know why. Anyway,
Oh.
back to our
You know
schedule
what you
program.
did. Yeah.
That was no shade, I swear.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I got tranquility.
Last but not least, Kobold, Kobold, Lazarus. So informal. Lazarus, would you still be at the temple, looking after the kids or the orphanage?
Well,
He's trying to get
it's
into
not.
the locked cabinet.
I just learned that the temple's not open yet
It's only been
because
a
it's
month.
still being set up. So I have no place to live until it's set up. So I'm just gonna
there'd be a
follow
bed
the
there
party
for you.
around.
Beds
Well,
are
I'm
easy
with
to
the
get.
party.
You would have.
Okay.
You would have gone with them.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. Interesting.
And I
Alright,
talk
so-
a lot the whole time I'm there just to irritate them. I mean, just because I'm a social kobold.
Social kobold. Okay. Gotcha. Alright. So, feel free to, if there's anything you guys wanted to discuss on your trip back, you can. If not, then
Where do you think we
that
went,
is
Milo?
also fine.
Where do you think you and Estra would have wanted to go?
I could roll for it.
We don't choose where we go.
Oh, okay.
We kind of wander until someone calls for help and then go there. Um, but I think Estra and I are compiling data on like trying to build a map of where the planes are near each other, like
Oh,
which
okay.
plane,
Yep.
you know, because we've done some plane hopping.
And how do you plane hop? Do you know of places to go to do it? Or is it just like a random event for you two that it pulls you there?
Uh, no, it doesn't pull us there. However, we have mentioned if we die while we're out, we get pulled somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because for me, it'd be just more. I'd be interested on the how it's happened because like he's got a little bit of magic, but he doesn't know a lot about it. But he would know like there's certain areas you can travel to that will take you somewhere. So I'm just more wondering how we get there.
I have no idea. Raza gave it as an option. It was on the list of things you
Okay.
could choose.
Yeah.
You could choose
So
to go
Raza,
plane hopping.
how would we do this? Because technically,
Well,
none of us have the ability to
these
magically do it ourselves.
correct. You find it curious enough. You always were curious about how they did this, because
Mm-hmm.
you know Milo is somewhat apt with magic, but not to the level that
Yep.
you know
No.
could probably plane hop by himself, well herself. But it's curious because it's not. It's instead of creating these portals, it's like these two kind of know where they will appear, almost like a sense of where they need to go, and they'll pass through to wherever they need to go. It's almost
Weird.
uncanny how they could find like I guess gates or like shortcuts
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
to different planes, like a keen nose for it. And it kind of makes sense that that's why these two were not so affected by the Shadowfell. It's almost like it
Yeah.
was just like another Tuesday for them. It's not probably even the first time they've been there. Like they just
Mm-hmm.
probably never been there in that way through like a crack of
Yeah.
dusk from
So almost
the winter.
like Astra has like a tuning fork for the planes built into her, and it's like, oh, over here.
Yeah, suspiciously, every time we go to a new place, we just happen to show up where someone needs help.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I like that better. Yeah, I like that.
It's
Yeah. Zenith
it's
would
not it's almost
that
like in
would
reverse.
follow
Like
how he kind of works. Yeah.
yeah, it's you notice that it's almost in reverse. It's like they almost seem to be almost going in that direction before they know they're needed. It's almost like they turn up just
Yeah.
as things are developing. And it's happened in a few places that you've been
Mm-hmm.
with them. I would even probably say that you probably picked up a few things on through your planes. I
Yeah.
believe you probably might even have gone through the Feywild, come to study like the balance between the because the Shadowfell is like a dark echo of the material plane,
Yeah.
and you'd be probably experiencing the opposite in the Feywild, which you noticed Xenos was complete opposite. While the
Yeah.
Shadowfell was just dark and gloomy, if Feywild was perhaps too bright, perhaps a bit too lively.
Yeah.
You had
For
some
him.
interesting
Milo
moments there.
loves the Feywild. That shit gets crazy.
Yeah.
Estra probably hates the Feywild.
Milo,
We didn't stay there for
I
long.
think he
She
would
does.
enjoy the Feywild, but hate the politics if he ran into any of that.
It's like a frat party
It just-
until you do something wrong and then you go to like prison.
Immediate jail.
Yeah,
Yes,
immediate
without
jail.
being told
Yeah.
what you did wrong. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, he'd enjoy the color
Basically.
and the pretty, but he would probably be more on edge there than the Shadowfell, because the Shadowfell, all he's got to do is beat the crap out of things, because
Yeah.
he's good at
Yeah,
that.
rules are different.
Here, yeah, rules are different in the Feywild, so he'd
We don't
probably
we don't
not
stay in
know.
the Feywild for long, but occasionally Estra
No.
will let us go there to party a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You still remember that memorable moment where Milo got into a heated debate with the talking mushroom?
Oh, 100%.
don't exactly know what it was about, but it was very heated, and you were kind of fascinated that she could actually argue with something that shouldn't even be sentient. But
Yeah,
the Feywild is kind of like the Shadowfell makes its own rules. Like it's
yeah,
similar yet different.
yeah.
Um,
I
Well,
totally
he's
won.
an
you
It's
did
ASMR.
fine.
find that
Yeah,
time
he,
there was you did notice though on your trips there, like there definitely was there's a reason why Estra doesn't like going there often, not just because it's very
yeah,
chaotic and just very out there,
yeah.
exaggerated. The fact that is that the longer you spend in the Feywild, the longer the risk is of you staying there longer than you want to.
Yeah.
You probably discussed this with Estra and even Milo at some point. So, oh yeah, there's time dilation. For years, yeah, it could be years in the material
Yeah, that
plane,
would probably,
and it can
yeah,
only be like
he
an
would
hour
probably,
here, right?
he would, yeah, definitely hate that more. It's like, if I'm only here for an hour and it's like a week there, I need to get home. This
Yeah,
is, yeah, no, I need
yeah,
to know what's going on now because I have roots there.
yeah. And I would say that perhaps you were probably heading back on your way out, from the Feywild. It's been, about time that you guys headed
Mhm.
back to Neverwinter. And as you're kind of crossing what's known as a Fey Gate,
Hmm.
pretty much the counterpart of the crevices of dusk that you find with the Shadowfell. As
Yeah.
you kind of pass through, and all of you are kind of expecting to come out the other end, um, back to the material plane, uh, back into like perhaps the mirror of the forest you're coming through now, like on the outskirts of
Hmm.
Neverwinter Woods. All of you at the same time feel weird. Not weird from traveling between planes, it's almost old hat for you now, but almost as you kind of feel like a surge of energy and a bit of like sometimes when your certain limbs fall asleep, if sitting down too long or in a bad position, but all over you, kind of like pins and needles kind of go up and down. You feel a bit displaced, and as this is all happening, you find yourselves enveloped. First, Lazarus. He starts to glow as you're kind of crossing the Fey gate back to the material plane. Lazarus, you find this multicolored light is surrounding you. Kind of almost very similar to fairy fire. Um, what do you do? Do you react? Do you guys go, what is this? He starts to glow rapidly
Lazarus
and
is
brightly.
Sparkles 2.0. Sparkles Jr. Sparkles Jr.
Yeah, I don't know if plane hopping with Sparkles would have been a good idea. I might have left him.
Peter, I
I don't
think
know if
you're
we would have
muted.
brought.
Well, he's doing training with the guards, right? To be a
Right,
warhorse.
that's
So
Yeah.
true.
he's
That's
busy. He
true.
has
We stuck him right.
plans. Yeah.
This is
He
true.
doesn't have time to go to the Feywild. He's
Yeah,
We're turning a
he's got a
riding horse into
job.
a war horse. This
Yeah.
is true. It's going to take him a while to build up a little bit more muscle. The fitting for his barding and all that's probably going to take a while. And he now has. Let me go back to my inventory because we outfitted him with a lot of magic. He now has a headband of intellect, the necklace adaptation, and a sentinel shield on him.
I
I feel
think
He
like
has
the horse was
he has
better
an
equipped than
AC
this.
of 19 for a horse. So
Yeah.
yeah, he's doing good.
I think Esther would try to go through her catalog and see if she's ever seen anything like this happen before on a trip or read anything about it on a trip. Could she do that?
Yeah. If I would accept. I guess Arcana, I suppose, on
Oh,
her
I'm
behalf,
just gonna do history.
or
That's fine.
history, because it's kind of she's trying to recall
Yeah.
that, isn't she?
Yeah.
History. Um, hmm.
Uh,
Go to the old data banks.
21.
21?
Mhm.
Yes and no.
Okay.
It's different. It feels almost to her like teleportation magic, but nothing like you experienced before. And as she kind of analyzes that and turns to tell you that, Marla, you feel the thrum of magic because you're in touch with it. You're half
Hmm.
wizard, but you feel like it's an intense thrum of power that kind of rushes through your veins like electric sparks, just like, and all of you feel like now you all smell the ozone kind of coming off you, and all of you have the sparks now kind of coursing through your bodies, and all of you are lit up like Christmas trees. And before any of you can really do much, you see Lazarus just blinks out, and then
Normal.
Estra.
I guess
Estra's
we're
like,
being
and then
called.
disappears.
I'm going to activate my cloak displacement if I have time before this happens.
What would you do in the split second you're about to disappear? What would you do?
Just literally make a double copy of me, just in case it can take it instead of me.
Okay. But that Xenoth vanishes, and then Milo, last but not least, you find yourself pulled in a very different direction to where you were going. It's almost like you were heading this way to the material plane. It's almost like you got like shunted. Some are very different. And as all of you push through and enveloped by this energy, quick as it comes, as your world winks it out of existence, it flicks back on. And as all of you regain focus, you seem to stand in this very plush candlelit parlor. You see there's a stately woman in blue robes that's like leans forward towards you. And you see her brows kind of furrowed in confusion, a little bit of concern. In the blurry background, you see stands a woman that's kind of like frowning, but she's got like this like flowing black dress. And then there's this man standing there as well, tugging in confusion at his like kind of like nervous kind of tug at his high crimson collar. And these are the individuals you see in turn.
Ooh.
All just kind
Oh.
of
Of course.
looking at all of you in either a mix of concern, bemusement, confusion.
You rang?
Hello?
So,
This
as
is...
all of you see this, um, the woman with the pointy hat with the black flowing robes kind of cocks her head at all of you. She goes, "No, you can't be. You can't be the answer to our wish." And she kind of sneers at you a little bit and looks at her companion, who goes, "Shh." She kind of, and this woman, this elegant woman with long white flowing hair, elegant, just poised, kind of like leads all of you, this confused bunch of people, towards this, I guess you could call it a sanctum, to like a more comfortable
Mhm.
lounge area, and I'll actually will move you there because why not?
Can I do a... Because I'm really the only one from this place. From the material, like on Toral. Can I do a history or any type of roll to see if I know who any of these people are?
Did he
Because
say we
I'd
were
be
on
the only one
Toro?
who would.
Absolutely,
Well,
absolutely
no, but I
can.
just would assume we were shunted back home because that's where we got our last job.
Esther will do
You
a history
absolutely can
check.
absolutely try to see if you can recall who this one or who these people are.
I have a black
Okay.
screen.
You have a black screen.
Would you like a perception or history?
I think maybe a history check, and it's gotta be. I'll say it's a high DC because these are
Esther
not.
got a
I only got a
23.
+2. I got a 21.
All right. Well, so take that, DM.
Ooh,
High rolls.
I got.
What?
I
I
also
only
got
had
a
a +2. I
23.
rolled a 19.
Esther and I both got 23s.
Okay. So,
I could guide myself too if I needed to add more.
Xenoth, and I guess Esther as well, kind of like going to the databanks, immediately kind of picks out who these people are. Even the most obscure of them seems to register. Just from the mannerisms, you might have heard of it. This has to be the woman with the white hair. She's the one that stands out the most because she's the one that's more, perhaps not the most prominent, but she's very well known on Toril as
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like,
Illustrial Silverhand.
yeah, I was wondering if, like, maybe the clothing color or any garments that she has would make me recognize I'm in Waterdeep. If it's Silverhand, then I gotta be in Waterdeep.
No, it doesn't actually look. The fashion is similar, but it's not
Okay.
Waterdavian. It seems to be
Yeah.
of a different part of Toril. They are the prestigious Archmage robes. You recognize that,
Yeah.
but again, they're not Waterdevian kind of style.
Yeah.
I feel like I recognize
Uh,
Mordenkainen from like the back of my spell books that I've read.
Oh, yeah. It's that guy that my spell.
Yeah.
Hey, I've
He's a
read your
bald guy.
books.
I would probably immediately just bow and go, I guess we're here to help. Hi. What can we do for you?
One second, my computer is glitching.
Isn't normally how we get a job, but I assume
Letters
here to
are
help.
also fine.
That's usually how things work for us. Yes, letters.
Just before we continue, is everyone just seeing a black screen? Is it just black
Yeah.
for everyone?
I
Can everyone
was,
see
yeah.
where they
I
are?
backed down. I don't see anything else. I got
It's just a
nothing,
black
sir.
screen, yeah.
Just... Let me just see if we can fix
I
that
just
real
fixed
quick.
mine.
Sure.
I will refresh.
Yeah, I am too.
You might have to drag your character out.
Oh,
I'm making sure that's all good. So, let's try. Let me just give you control. Yeah, that
There we
looks
go.
fine.
I'm good. That is good now.
Can you all see where you are?
no.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
All Gucci.
Oh, wait, yes.
Yep.
It was farther down.
I can also just go to Twitch.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So, what was that? Oh yes. You were saying that to them. Let me just bring that up. Yeah, they look at you curiously when you say that, and Illustrial kind of leads you into this parlor to kind of sit yourselves down there. And she's like, "Welcome. I'm sorry for that abrupt, I suppose, summoning, but as my companion here rudely stated, I apologize. You are not what we expected. I don't know.
In
I
a
guess we should start with
disappointing way,
introductions.
or
She goes, no. And you see the woman known as Tasha goes, yes, very much so. And she goes, shh. She shushes her again. She goes,
Who or what were you trying to
not what we
call?
Honestly, not so much who we were trying to call. I mean, well, first of all, I think maybe we should be better guests, don't you think, Tasha? She says, if you must. He goes, well, for those who don't know me, I'm Lady Illustrial Silverhand.
you look
And
familiar.
this is my companion, Tasha, witch. And maybe some might know this gentleman.
Oh.
And he hasn't said anything. He's just been sternly looking at all you, a little bemused.
Wizard guy.
Lord Canaan. Please, sit. I guess we should explain what's really happening.
I don't sit. I'll just stand near them.
Yeah, I'm pretty much gonna go. This place is too nice. I'm not sitting here.
Could you delete my token that's not on the couch? Because I don't have control of it. I had to drag my own on.
Okay. Done.
I would love some tea if you have some, though.
Oh, thank you.
we've been traveling for a bit,
She kind of like
and
seems.
well, this isn't where we thought we were going, but
Yeah.
now we're here.
Yeah. Yeah. She seems like a woman that is usually not caught off guard by things, but this seems to be a bit out of left field even for her. But you see, she's composing herself well. Well, I suppose you're here due to our efforts to stop. What do you know of the Archlich, or I suppose God, Vecna?
We're just gonna look at Milo and Esther and go,
Yeah.
right.
We've been
Okay.
doing research. We ran into the cult. We took out the cult. It's a whole thing. Pop back up.
Contact Lord
Okay.
Daggart. Never remember. He can fill you in with what we've been doing with him. Let's just say we're up to speed with the problem. You're muted. Oh, there you go.
First of all, I guess we should start at the beginning. Where you currently are is my sanctum. This is located in Sigil.
Oh, the
Just a
Doors
home away
City.
from home.
Okay, that makes more sense. Right, interesting.
She looks at you, Miles. She goes, "Yes, correct."
I've always wanted to come here.
It basically,
It's nice.
and yes, it is a nice place, home away from home, as I said. But the most important thing about it is it's basically a sanctum that has access to a well of many worlds. It kind of, I kind of fused it into the building itself, and as a result, it's now a portal that leads to numerous locations across the multiverse. For those who are familiar with it, and she kind of sees that Milo and Astra are not phased at all by this. Even Xenot's a little more familiar with playing a travel.
Getting there. Yep.
I feel like all of you are more or less well acquainted with that. Yeah, we're using it as our base of operations, basically. I hardly bring anyone here, only unless it's dire. And I suppose this situation is as dire as can be. You see, and Tasha goes, oh, whoa. I'm sorry, but how are they here? How are they going to help?
Didn't you bring us here?
Well, I suppose we did in a very long, roundabout way. We were basically in the process of casting a very powerful joint wish spell to disrupt Vecna's plans, since it's come to my attention that he is planning to basically destroy the multiverse. Or I suppose perhaps reshape it in his own image, I think.
Well, that's not good.
A joint... No, it is not, my young little kobold. And she looks at you and she smiles. You are very adorable. She gets a little sidetracked. Anyway. Yeah, so... we're not sure what happened. But as soon as we finish casting the spells, you all appeared in my sanctum, which you shouldn't have been able to.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
Here you are.
Yeah, lately we have been
welcome.
sent places where we didn't know we were going, so this fits in with what's been happening, but, you know, I prefer an actual invitation, but that's fine. Okay.
Well, since we're here,
Yeah.
can we help you?
Never heard of it. Have you heard of a wish spell before, Milo? I've never heard of that before.
Of course, everyone knows wish
Have you?
spells. Yeah, I mean, I can't cast them. I'm not nearly that high. I probably never will be.
Sure. Never heard of that before. Like, usually I just ask Horace Ray for something, and either yes or no. Okay, this is interesting.
It's sort of a it's sort of an ask.
Okay, so they're not lying to us. Okay.
No, I mean, wish it requires a high level wizard usually, but according to Mordecai, he could easily do it. So, or he should be able to, anyways.
I know a little bit about magic. Sorry, I'm just still learning, so this is new. Interesting.
I think you see she's kind of mute. She looks at Tasha. Do you think it's possible that the way we phrased that? Do you think that that was the wish spell being fulfilled? And you see Tasha kind of rolls her eyes. She goes, I mean, whatever. I mean, they're here, right? I suppose.
They can be
She looks at
tricky like
Mordecai,
that.
who again kind of arches his eyebrow at them. Doesn't say anything. Well, I suppose you were summoned here to fulfill the parameters of the wish. I suppose you can help us. I mean, I guess it's meant to be.
How'd you word it exactly?
Well,
I lean over to Xenoth. It's kind of
well,
like you hear stories of genies and stuff, right?
Yeah,
You vaguely, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
they grant wishes, but they tend to be dicks, so they usually find a loophole and mess you up somehow.
Oh.
It's like that, but on a high level.
Yeah.
And you only
Yes.
get one a
Riddles
day
and all
until
that
it
stuff.
disappears.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah, something like that.
All right. Yep.
well, the way you see Tasha goes, they don't need to know that. Why don't we just explain to them what they need to be doing?
No, if we've been called here because of the wish you made, we need to know what you signed us up for.
I agree.
That's only fair.
Yeah, technically, like if you are needing help with Vecna and his cult, like we're all in for that. That's kind of what we're currently doing, and
Wording is
been fairly good at it.
Spells.
Yeah, that too. If you literally just ask for straight help, we're good at helping.
At Mordecai and Tasha, and kind of like looks at them like they make a very strong case. And you see Tasha goes, fine, if it helps. Alright, so basically, the wish was phrased as such. Are you ready? She kind of gives you like this like arching eyebrow roll. She almost seems very aloof, almost bored with what's happening here.
Yeah, I don't need to write it down. I'm good.
As one. You go? Alright. We all as one, phrased as follows.
Yes.
We wish for the power to disrupt the Lich God's plans. Try to keep it as simple as possible. Try to make sure there was no loopholes or any extra things that can be muddled, but I suppose us three Archmages are not even capable of that. She kind of turns away from all of you. Ugh. Need a drink. You see, Illustrial's like, yeah, well, I'm sorry it was not more impressive wording. It's simpler to keep these spells, especially like wishes, direct and as concise as possible.
Wait. I'm sorry to interrupt, but you're kind of acting like we're not all that special, and we are, and I can prove it.
Let's not.
Actually,
please don't.
Apologies. We haven't let you introduce yourselves. She looks between everyone, like Milo and Estra and Xenoth and...
Milo, Estra, Xenoth, Lazarus. I forgot his name. I, as Saint, forgot his name. Milo probably did too, to be fair.
Milo probably did too. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm from, I'm from Skuld. That's my hometown.
Well, I guess if you asked for the power to disrupt it, they seem to think that we're able to give that, which I think makes sense because we did already disrupt one of their rituals.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, she looks at Tasha, who looks reluctantly impressed. She goes, you were the ones that foiled that scheme in Neverwinter?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, got us bounced to the Shadowfell for a minute, but we got back. It's fine.
How we met took us longer than we anticipated because we didn't really know what was going on. And we'd never worked with each other before, but we did quite well. We were shunted into the Shadowfell after that, but we managed to get our way back to the material plane. Back in Neverwinter. And from there, we've just been trying to research as much as we can about Vecna, because, well, I got this book. I'll pull out the book that I found about the Vecna cults. This is really... We haven't learned a lot more, We did learn, because he's in charge of where we were in the Shadowfell, correct? Was he not in the city that we went to? Or was that a different
Sorry,
Lich
come
that was
again?
in charge? When we got shunted to the Shadowfell, when we went to the nearest city, didn't we find he was in charge?
No.
I don't think so.
believe
Okay.
That's the same one.
Who was in...
I
Okay.
think you're thinking of a different Lich in his Council of Ghouls that
Okay.
look basically preside over Evernight.
Okay.
I believe you're speaking of.
Yeah, I couldn't remember.
No.
Brandon couldn't remember which Lich was there. Okay.
No, it's a lot of Liches.
Yeah.
Hard to keep track of them.
There's only
But
a
this
few.
is the Lich.
It would have been
okay.
probably Zastam, sorry. Yeah.
Well, first of all, before we get all settled in, yes, she's noticed that he keeps putting his hand up. You don't have to put your hand up. But go on.
I'm sorry. I'm Lazarus, and I used to be human, but now I'm kobold, and we have great powers. See, and I will cast Zone of Truth. And now we can't lie to you, so you can ask us anything.
I don't lie anyway.
That's not how that
Pardon
spell
me.
works.
But you know what? It's how he would explain it.
Yeah. No, but that is what Milo says as well. Like, that's not.
And I would just go,
And I was
I
like,
never lie
that's
anyway.
not what it does. And
Lying
all
is not
you,
part of what I can do.
You basically see Illustrial look at Tasha, who looks up back at her, and you kind of have they don't say it, but it's the same sentiment, Milo. Like that's not right. Because Tasha looks at Lazarus and she smiles. She goes, "Really? Oh, that's interesting twist to that spell. Did you know that's how it works?" She looks at Illustrial, who just shushes her again. Apologies. That's very useful. I suppose if you are using that spell, perhaps you can answer maybe a few questions of your own. If you had some dealings with Vecna, do you have any other ties to him? Any connections that we should be aware of?
I don't know, do you?
By the way, I passed my charisma save. I do not have to.
Yeah, so
tell the
she
truth.
doesn't even have to answer the question.
Yeah.
I would definitely willingly fail it.
What's the DC on this?
What's your
17.
DC last round?
17.
17. And where are these entities in relation to the map? Because I don't see them on the map.
Estra has to tell
They
the
would
truth.
be, yeah, well, they're not on there, but they would be perhaps standing here.
Oh, well,
Maybe I should actually.
I would have gotten up off the couch and come closer to them to cast it. So they're definitely in it.
They're not failing that.
I can try.
Oh, Peter.
They can probably just legendary resist it.
Yeah.
All three of them.
If they even
He doesn't
need
know that it's
to.
kobold.
They
So.
probably don't even need to.
Estra fails, by the way. If she would have even
Estra
tried
fails?
to,
Okay.
even if she would have, I don't know if she would have tried to succeed or fail. Probably wouldn't have tried, but she does either way.
I can honestly say I don't know who Vecna is, much less be in a relationship with him of any sort. And do I don't think any of my friends here know Vecna either. I don't know, to be honest. But are any of you in a relationship with him? Or do any of you know him? Or I guess, are any of you friendly to him?
Did you just ask if they're dating Vecna?
Yeah, pretty much everything.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Okay, you can feel free to ignore him.
Yeah.
We usually do.
Please. Yeah.
I promise.
Personally,
he's a
I-
great healer. It's fine. But
Never met
fine,
him.
yes,
We've
it's
only dealt
useless.
with the cult.
Yeah.
We've dealt with cultists, but something weird did happen while we were fighting them. So our presence might be known to him, possibly. Yes?
I'd assume so, yeah.
Yeah.
To some degree.
Whether or not he knows our faces or our names, I don't know. It's highly probable that, yes, we have some sort of connection now with him. Whether or not, I don't know the depth of it. There's something there, I think.
Esther and I got pulled there to help, but that's all we know about him. As far as I know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but okay, I'm having a little problem here. I'm normally very friendly and very embracing, but you did just make us disappear from one place and come to a new place. I don't know Vecna, but I also don't know you. So can we even trust you? Is what I'd like to know. And I'm not asking my teammates, I'm asking you.
You can feel free to, like, meteor swarm him or something. We'll just step right out of the way.
I'm sorry, I'm new to
I
this
just, like, step
world.
out
I
of the
don't
way.
really know anybody.
Does Milo say that, actually?
Yeah, yeah. Just takes a step to the left.
Tasha actually giggles a bit. She goes, "Oh, please." She looks at Illustrial. She goes, no one is meteor swarming anyone in the sanctum. Oh, you're so lame. She goes and sits down again.
I just kind of give, like,
but,
Tasha a look of, like, yeah, I know, right? People are boring. We should
Yeah.
definitely just be able to meteor swarm people.
She looks at you. She goes. She whispers, "Such a buzzkill on this
Right,
side."
yeah.
And she
I just kind of, like,
just-
You don't
gesture
know where
to
she got the
Estra.
wine from, but
I'm
yeah,
just
you
gonna
don't know where
tap-
she got the red wine from, but she's like swirling it and just drinking it.
I'm
She's
gonna
like,
tap Lazarus on the
Nice.
shoulder and just look at him and go, "Do you think your patron would allow you to be sent somewhere that you don't want to be or in trouble?"
Yes, because my patron is fate. And if fate pulls me here, it pulls me here. But fate didn't pull me here, they did.
For magic, which technically is fake, because they didn't even know what they were asking for.
I would just
And we
like them
can't.
to answer me. Every time I ask a
Well.
question, you guys answer for them. I would like them to answer a question for a change.
Okay, that's fine. All I'm telling you is to have a little faith. Sir. Most effective.
Illustrial goes. You feel like she's like the diplomat of the three. And
Oh, for
she's
sure.
all
Yeah.
smiles and she goes,
Yeah.
"It's okay. What question would you like me to answer first?" She looks at Lazarus.
I would like each of you to answer. Can I trust you?
Which one? I mean, honestly, we just met us. I mean, she looks at Tasha when she says this. I think some more than others can be trusted. And Tasha goes, "Yeah, that's true." I mean, I'm sorry you got dragged into this, but you can trust the fact that I will put all my skill and knowledge to the pursuit of stopping Vecna. If your interests align, then so does mine. You can trust that. And see, Tasha goes what she said. Just keeps drinking.
Okay, it's clear I'm getting the runaround from everybody else here, so I trust you. The one that
By the
just
way,
answered.
Mordekainen didn't even bother to look at you. You asked him to quiet. He doesn't even glance at you. He's still kind
You're
of
awfully
scrutinizing everyone else.
quiet. Xenoth said you read book. You made a book, but I never read it. So,
I
did you
said that,
really
but that's
write a
fine.
book?
Milo's like, "I'm
That was
sorry, I
me.
did."
Okay, Milo said it. Okay. Did you really write that book?
Again, doesn't acknowledge the question. He's just kind of just. Now he's
You
stroking
I
that
don't
with his
trust.
He kind of just like cocking his head.
Does
Tasha
that
goes, "Oh,
matter?
that's just.
You could be a Mord
just what he
Sith
does.
for all I know. I'm not trusting you.
You see, Tasha turns to Milo. She goes, "Is he like this all
I
the
don't.
time?"
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what that. It's fine.
That is
You could
so
just,
chaotic. I love it. So she looks. And Lastro seems to be, she's a very patient woman, but she seems to be like, she seems
All
like
right.
stroking her temples.
So, ignoring that, you said there's another ritual happening that we're trying to disrupt. Is that right?
From
New
what we
ritual?
gathered,
Yeah. Okay.
yes, we have gathered that much. She looks around, but I'm not entirely sure what, I mean, I'm be glad to have your help, but if
Well,
our
we're
combined
here,
powers
so.
couldn't directly stop him, I know. She kind of looks at Tasha. Tasha looks at her, then she looks at Mordecai because you have been very quiet. I know that's your thing and all, but what do you think? And he's just like, hmm. I was worried perhaps that our wish wouldn't stop one as powerful as Vecna. Alastriel, please forgive me. And he looks at her. But I did plan a contingency. And everyone kind of like pauses. Even Tasha sits up from the couch. Vecna is too powerful to stop directly at this point. However, no power is absolute. I suspect Vecna will be vulnerable when he continues to weave his ritual. If you confront and weaken him, and you see he kind of like strides over to a cabinet that seems to be full of magical items and knickknacks, and you see he picks up this silver chime. He goes, perhaps this, which is known as the chime of exile. Bring it up, and everyone can
Yeah.
see it. Should be able to see it. This can banish him back to Earth, his homeland. He will no longer be able to affect multiple realms at once. His plan to remake the multiverse would fail. You see, Tasha goes, not bad. And you've been sitting on this
Interesting.
because... And he just ignores her. You see, his eyes kind of gleam with a little bit of excitement. That's kind of unusual for someone as serious as he is. Because there is an artifact that is, I believe, the only way to weaken him for this to work. Again, the chime needs him to be in a weakened state. It's an item known, and he kind of turns away from everyone, called the Rod of Seven Parts. And even Tasha goes, huh, really? Anyone would like to roll anything for that?
Love to
They may
roll a
absolutely
history
do so.
check. As would Estra.
Yeah.
Does this count as
What-
part of the research that we've been doing, that we get advantage on the cult and Vecna and plane hopping, or?
This is
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Just figured.
I guarantee he wouldn't. The Nat one also says Xenos doesn't know. I
that
don't
one
think he would
doesn't
either.
reveal the secrets
He
of
wouldn't
the
research.
universe. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
he wouldn't have researched anything like that. I would love to do though an insight check on the three of them to see if this is like the first time they've like. I can tell they're not used to working with each other, and I want to try and do like a vibe check to see if they even enjoy their own company with the three of them.
I think that
this is something
Tasha
they don't
enjoys
wanna
her
do.
own company all the time.
Yeah, I already assumed that. Yeah.
That is true. But you absolutely made.
Okay.
I think she just
I
said,
want
I
to
don't
just
think
I
you
want to
need for
vibe
Tasha.
check
I
the
think that's pretty
room
spot
to
on,
see if
yeah.
that's a 21 vibe check.
I only got a 16 history. It wasn't very good.
Okay. Alright, so vibe check first. So, Zenith, you get the feeling that, despite what it appears, Tasha and Illustrial, they seem to be at odds. They're not. They kind of seem to be like, perhaps a little closer than maybe they are to Mordekainen. Like, he seems to be a bit more distant, but you don't doubt that. You don't doubt that they haven't worked together before. It almost seems like this is what to be. It's almost what's to be expected. Like, you see it with all kinds of people, even from the lowliest wizard to the highest archmage. Everyone has their differences, and everyone has like different mannerisms. You don't know them well enough to kind of pick that apart, but you get the little vibe that it's not the first time they have to kind of like come together at least once.
Okay. So this is more of a something big's going down, and like they know they need to work with each other to try and get it done. Okay. This is like
Yeah,
they're putting the
basically.
big picture ahead of their own goal, almost. Okay.
More or less. Yeah.
Okay.
If they don't do this, they don't have their own goals because Vecna owns the world and he'll probably
True.
just kill them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is
Pretty
like
much.
almost like a
That's
force. We
fine.
have to try and do this
Yeah.
together. All right. Okay. Good. So that's really all he needs to sign up immediately for whatever they need him to do. Yep.
Milo is honestly like, if we got pulled here, then it's because we're supposed to be here, so she's not really questioning it.
Yep.
So,
I believe
as
we
you
are.
kind of
Sorry.
Go ahead.
just really quick, as you're kind of pondering that, Milo, but going back to that history check, was it?
Oh, sure.
Arcana?
History, yeah.
You know, well, I guess you know a little bit about it. You know that about maybe eons, perhaps ago, there was a war between primordials and gods that, you know, basically decimated the plains. And in a very desperate attempt to win that war against what was known as a very powerful demon known as Miska, uh, there was an artifact that was used against Miska to imprison them. Now that's what became known as the Rod of Seven Parts, which back then it was known as the Rod of Law. But once it was used by what seems to have been some dukes or the other, because I guess it's 16, you don't get like the specifics of it. It was broken into 7 parts, hence what it's named now. But yeah, that's briefly what you know about it. Right. Sorry, you was and
Treasure hunt time.
yeah. Sorry, you Lazarus. You were saying something.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I don't believe we're here according to fate in this building, but I do believe fate has called us to do this to help in this situation. So I'm in. That's all I wanted to say.
You see, Tasha kind of leans back on the couch and she goes, "Oh, we're saved. The kobold is in." Elastra goes, "Would you just stop?" She sits back with like a smile and drinks some more. And Mordekainen looks at you, Lazarus. Goes, and then he looks at everyone else after a dramatic pause. Unfortunately, its component pieces are scattered across existence. While my esteem, then he says that with a bit of weight, like kind of like a little bit of weight, looking at Tasha. My esteemed colleagues researched the magic needed to cast a wish spell. Powerful enough perhaps to stop Vecna. I looked into finding the rod's pieces should we need them. The first piece is deep in the Underdark, somewhere inside a hidden safe house for worshippers of the demon god Loth.
Great.
I believe he kind of like, again, you're not sure if he pauses for extra dramatic effect, and he strokes
Yeah.
his goatee. It's Web's Edge, I believe it's. Yes, I believe that's what it's called. I believe that's where you'll find the first piece, my friends.
Of
That
course.
portal, and he points to the dais where there's a shimmering opening. Once you go through there, you should be taken straight to Web's Edge. And once you locate the first piece, the magic inherent in the artifact will point you to the second piece like a compass. And then the third, and so on. The Sanctum's portal reacts to powerful magic such as this artifact, so as you find each piece, this portal will lead you to the next and the next. There's no need to use any other key or any other ways of travel. The most recent piece of the rod will suffice. And he kind of looks at everyone. Any questions so far?
Yeah, we find all 7 pieces and manage to put it back together. Who is to use it?
We will all contribute to that? He looks at Tasha and Illustra.
Just curious as to why the three of you aren't doing this. You seem more
Well,
capable than us. I know your wish spell brought us here to help, but this seems more up your alley than ours. I'm still going to take the job. It needs to be done, but I'm just more curious.
see,
While we're doing this, what are you doing? And do you have a way of us being able to contact you if we need help?
of course.
I like a
See,
way
Tasha
out.
looks at him and goes, he got you there. And as he goes, of course, we will obviously assist you in any way. And as he's saying that, anyone can do this. Can perception or insight? Perhaps
Sure.
more insight.
Insight or perception, that's the same.
Ooh.
Perception this time. Yeah, 10. Yeah.
I'll do insight. Oh wow, I forgot I have trash at both. So
22.
18 for me, and 23 for Estra.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. I'll give you advantage on the medicine check done anyone above a 20.
Oh, medicine check. So if you didn't
Yeah.
get above a 20, you can just do a regular medicine check.
Advantage on a medicine check.
If you didn't get above a 20, you can just do a
Yeah.
regular one.
Yeah.
Still
So
same
if you
plus
didn't get
4.
it, you just
Yeah. Rolling terrible.
Ooh,
9.
nice.
Digital dice not working.
Okay. So
Actually works for combat.
Estra's medicine is a 23. Mine is a dirty 20.
You notice as he's kind of answering Xenoth, all of them seem to be extremely fatigued, despite Tasha kind of laying back and seeming to be like playing it off as a big deal. All of them seem extremely out of it. And Milo, despite not being able to cast it yourself, Wish takes so much out of you, even to the more like even powerful archmages. Kind of like it fatigues them extremely, um, and it kind of can last for a while. You see, Mordecai kind of looks at you, Xenoth, because of course we'll be helping you with anything you can, and we will provide you with ways of communicating. But for the most part, we would first need to rest off the fatigue, and we will be conducting our own research back here on ways for you to triumph against Vecna. Other ways, perhaps, for you to be resistant to whatever he throws at you. So you will not be alone, but we can't be at all places at once. So your assistance would be appreciated. I believe my esteemed colleagues could agree. And see, Tasha's like, eh. And Lestra's like, well, if it's not too much trouble, we would appreciate the assistance. They would definitely go faster with capable assistance.
Do you think, to Xenoth's point, you could give us a in case of emergency escape option, a spell scroll of plane shift or teleportation or something, just to get us out of somewhere if we absolutely have to? I can't cast that high myself yet, but if you write it down, I can figure it out on the go.
Well, in light of what Mordekainen said, the Sanctum's resources are at your disposal. Of course, I'm sure I can find a scroll to help you in case you are, as you say, caught in a difficult situation. Yes, same as any assistance will be provided.
Well, point us in the where, when, and how, and I'm ready.
Yeah, what assistance we'll need, we'll know
You see-
better after we go after the first part, when we know what we're looking for, yeah.
Really don't want to go into the Underdark. But if that's where we got to go, then that's where we got to go. That is not somewhere
Yeah.
I would ever
Mordekainen's like,
trudge unassisted. I don't speak under
Good.
common.
Esther does, but
Does she?
Well,
Esther speaks everything.
No, wait. I
Then
speak
we are-
undercommon. Brandon should look at his character
Ah!
sheet.
then we are in agreement. If you want
I
to
speak
kind
undercommon.
of tries to like establish
Oh,
control
sure.
again.
Okay.
Uh,
I'll
We're in
say, at
agreement.
least
Then.
I can
There is no
practice my
time to
undercommon.
waste.
Yes.
Hmm.
Our
Can I
goals
get
are
the
Once
three of
aligned.
you
you?
resemble the rod.
Yeah.
We have no
Can I get
issue.
the?
He's
Yeah.
he's like he's not used to being interrupted. He's like, once you've reassembled the rod, we can all confront Vecna and stop his heinous plan. You'll be the heroes of the multiverse. Something. How does that sound? He looks at all of you. Tasha goes, I think it's a working title, honestly. You could probably do better than that. She looks at him up and down.
Mm.
He glares at her.
Mm.
Alicia goes, obviously, you don't have to go straight away. And he looks at her. If you need time to rest, you may absolutely do so. She
No.
points to the
No,
side.
That's fine.
we were on our way
Um,
back from a job. We didn't get.
Yeah.
We didn't. We were already rested. I don't have any issues
Yep.
going now unless the others do.
Yeah.
I can always repack my spells tomorrow for any specific needs. But
No, I am quite capable. Could I give the three of you a little bit of advice though? I know you are all three quite capable magic users. I don't know exactly how magic takes a toll on you, but if you would like a good, cardio regime to bring that up, I would love to help. You look exhausted.
see,
Maybe a little bit more cardio would
They
help.
all react differently. Alastria kind of looks like you see she's the nice. You could say she's the nice one. Like she kind of goes, oh, sure.
Can't just
Natasha's
sit and
like,
read all the
huh?
time.
And
Even I know that.
Mordekainen looks like you slapped him in the face with a wet fish. He kind of like looks at Tasha like, all right, we will take that under advisement, I suppose. And that's probably the nicest thing he's going to say. Get the feeling.
Good work on always brings
And
you
she
back
goes,
to,
Out of
perfect.
curiosity, what is you see Tasha kind of gets up and walks over to you. What is
Mhm.
this regime? What is it like? What do you do? Do you stretch, or do you get to blow things up, or is it just
No, you start off with a
was it
morning run before you have
martial
breakfast.
arts?
Yeah.
Oh, and she looks extremely crestfallen when you say that. Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
I mean, there
That's
are other
fun.
kinds of cardio.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is. She looks at you. She goes, "That's more like it. Me and you need
Yeah.
to talk more when you get back. Please don't die." She goes, "I kind of like you." She goes, "All right,
I'm
off you
really
go."
hard to kill,
But
but
again, yeah, well, one of us is, we'll try not to have him die again. Yes.
All right. So I guess if everyone doesn't need a rest, obviously, or doesn't need anything else, you
Nope.
may all step up to the dais, and we can probably take our first break. Seems like a good place to.
In the
Raza,
back of my head, it's like sparkle.
just above. Oh, just yeah. Can we get Sparkle? Above
It's like,
table, I did swap out a spell because I realized that I have goggles now, so I don't need to pack
Oh,
dark
yeah,
vision anymore.
dark vision. Right.
Okay.
So I
Yeah, no, that's
swapped
fine.
that out.
You could have swapped it out the month that you. Yeah, all good.
Yeah,
Thanks for letting me know.
I just forgot when I was picking them this morning that I had it because it's not an attuned item, so I forgot.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah, can we
All right.
backtrack and ask for
Cool beans.
Sparkles? Can you just pick up our horse real quick and bring him over?
That's a good, I don't think I want to bring
I don't think we should bring him to the Underdark anyways. No,
No.
we should probably not
That's
bring
just-
our horse to
That's
the Underdark.
food for whatever's down there that
Yeah.
hasn't seen meat in a while. Even though that was his original purpose, was to feed the vampires,
Yeah.
but
But now we're
Yeah.
attached.
we are. I have another patch anyway with
was-
a horse, just in case.
Yeah.
I was ready
Yeah.
to roleplay that, just saying Tasha would have been like, a horse?
But it can't be
Uh-huh.
Sparkles Jr. because that's
Yeah.
Lazarus'
Yeah.
nickname.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll find something else down there to befriend and ride out.
Sounds fun.
We'll be good. A deep brothy.
Alright, well, I guess with no further ado, we'll take our first break and we'll be right back
Oh,
with Underdark Madness. Alright. Back
What
anyway.
if you could have
Be good.
your heart's deepest desire?
the divine power to transform your life for the right price. An eye for an eye, flesh for a crown, wretched mortality for glorious eternity. Rise with me, for who can stop a god?
What if you could have your heart's deepest desire?
The divine power to transform your life for the right price. An eye for an eye, flesh for a crown, wretched mortality for glorious eternity. Rise with me, for who can stop a god?
What if you could have your heart's deepest desire?
The divine power to transform your life for the right price. An eye for an eye, flesh for a crown, wretched mortality for glorious eternity. Rise with me, for who can stop a god?
What if you could have your heart's deepest desire?
The divine power to transform your life for the right price. An eye for an eye, flesh for a crown, wretched mortality for glorious eternity. Rise with me, for who can stop a god?
What if you could have your heart's deepest desire?
The divine power to transform your life for the right price. An eye for an eye, flesh for a crown, wretched mortality for glorious eternity. Rise with me, for who can stop a god?
What if you could have your heart's deepest desire?
The divine power to transform your life for the right price. An eye for an eye, flesh for a crown, wretched mortality for glorious eternity. Rise with me. For who can stop a god?
What if you could have your heart's deepest desire? The divine power to transform your life for the right price. An eye for an eye, flesh for a crown. Wretched mortality for glorious eternity. Rise with me. For who can stop a god? What if you could have your heart's deepest desire? The divine power to transform your life for the right price. An eye for an eye, flesh for a crown. Wretched mortality for glorious eternity. Rise with me. For who can stop a god? What if you could have your heart's deepest desire? The divine power to transform your life for the right price. An eye for an eye, flesh for a crown. Wretched mortality for glorious eternity. Rise with me. For who can stop a god? What if you could have your heart's deepest desire? The divine power to transform your life for the right price. An eye for an eye, flesh for a crown. Wretched mortality for glorious eternity. Rise with me. For who can stop a god? What if you could have your heart's deepest desire? The divine power to transform your life for the right price. An eye for an eye, flesh for a crown. Wretched mortality for glorious eternity. Rise with me. For who can stop a god? What if you could have your heart's deepest desire? The divine power to transform your life for the right price. An eye for an eye, flesh for a crown, wretched mortality for glorious eternity. Rise with me, for who can stop a god? What if you could have your heart's deepest desire? The divine power to transform your life for the right price. An eye for an eye, flesh for a crown, wretched mortality for glorious eternity. Rise with me, for who can stop a god? What if you could have your heart's deepest desire? The divine power to transform your life for the right price. An eye for an eye, flesh for a crown, wretched mortality for glorious eternity. Rise with me, for who can stop a god? What if you could have your heart's deepest desire? The divine power to transform your life for the right price. An eye for an eye, flesh for a crown, wretched mortality for glorious eternity. Rise with me, for who can stop a god? What if you could have your heart's deepest desire? The divine power to transform your life for the right price. An eye for an eye, flesh for a crown, wretched mortality for glorious eternity. Rise with me, for who can stop a god? What if you could have your heart's deepest desire? The divine power to transform your life for the right price. An eye for an eye, flesh for a crown, wretched mortality for glorious eternity.
Rise with me. For who can stop a god?
What if you could have your heart's deepest desire? The divine power to transform your life for the right price. An eye for an eye. Flesh for a crown. Wretched mortality for glorious eternity. Rise with me. For who can stop a god? What if you could have your heart's deepest desire? The divine power to transform your life for the right price. An eye for an eye. Flesh for a crown. Wretched mortality for glorious eternity. Rise with me. For who can stop a god? What if you could have your heart's deepest desire? The divine power to transform.
I'm just ignoring you. Yeah.
We're back. Hi.
Yay!
Oh, hi.
We are.
Or in the words of Brandon,
Well,
oh
everyone,
hi.
Thank you.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
There.
Oh, hi.
We'll, I guess, pick up where we left off with the group, perhaps ready to depart, or maybe some preparations are in need. We'll see. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would definitely
everyone.
look at
Plan.
my group and just I want to try and see if we can have some privacy and have a talk before all this happens and goes, because we haven't had a chance to talk to the group without the other three listening in. Mm-hmm. Do you guys mind if we have a quick conversation before we leave? Alone? Somewhere?
What, you see, Tasha was just like filing her nails. Like, so what? Oh, privacy. She looks at Illustrial. She goes, "Of course.
Just a
you
small quick
may
corner.
Absolutely have some privacy."
I will cancel my zone of truth
want
in case we have to lie.
Yeah, if the whole time
Ignored it.
was up, they didn't react to it at all. We feel like it did nothing to them. They ignored it completely. It was nice. Illustrial gave me like, you know, when someone tries really hard and you have that nice teacher that kind of goes, "Oh, it's alright, you did good."
Yeah.
She's like that. She's like, "Oh, you tried."
Cute.
Yeah.
Tasha kind of
Just
sneered
wants
at you
to
and
reach
laughed
out
at
and
you.
rub your
but-
head. Aw, little buddy.
Yeah, aw, you thought that was a spell. Anyway, yeah, so you see Illustra goes, "Did you want a different room, or did you just want to go?"
No. Just
You want us
just
to
over
leave?
here. No, this is your place. Just a quick little corner here. That's fine. I just want a little quick huddle to make sure the four of us are on the same page.
Sure, group powwow.
Yes, please.
Campfire!
Raza, I'm going to intentionally walk us into the whatever corner passes that cabinet that Mordenkainen pulled the thingy out of, because I want to take a peek and just not open it, but just see if like anything catches my eye, because it was full of magic items and I'm looking.
Yeah.
Just as we pass it.
A quick instant detect magic.
No.
No.
It's all magic.
I know.
Everything here is that the building is
yeah.
magic.
If you did detect magic, I think you would go blind.
You'd go blind, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Intense.
No, I'm just straight up looking. I'm just gawking at it.
Mhm.
Like a kid looking
Alright,
into
so-
a candy store with like their head fully on the glass.
Mhm.
It's fine, I'm just looking.
Okay. Yeah, Milo. Actually, it's interesting. They got all kinds of things in there. They got cloaks. They got what seems to be headbands. They have gloves. There may be a scepter or two in there that's kind of like hanging on one of the doors. You may, as you're talking and with Xenoth, you can kind of maybe do like a check in the back of your mind to see if you recognize anything.
I don't think I'd look. No. No, he's got something on his
You don't
mind,
wanna look?
and
Nah.
no, I don't think he would. Yep.
I'm
I don't
oblivious to
see
it.
anything.
Yeah.
I see everything and focus on nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, his vibe check kind of gave him a few things,
Yeah.
but he's still a little... He wants to, like, go over the group first.
Just out of
Alright,
curiosity,
okay.
is it locked? I'm asking for a friend.
You are welcome to try and open it,
No.
sticky fingers. Good luck.
I'm
with that.
oblivious to it, so
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was gonna say you can try. I'm not gonna stop you.
So, what do you guys think? This is a lot. Apparently, this rod of 7 parts. So I'm assuming this is taking us to 7 different places. It's a lot of travel. We
I'd
did
think
just
so.
kind of set down routes. Mine's more self-regulatory, thankfully. This seems urgent. Yes.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't call it rude. Esther and I use the library, but
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
we
there is
don't
that.
care
I
if
know
we're
what you mean.
there or not. But
Okay.
I'm willing to help in any way I can, but I don't think we should trust that Mord guy.
Silverhand.
Does that
I know. I
matter?
don't know the other two. Yes and no. I want to look at Estra. I know you're good at sensing things. What do you pick up from them? We've been a few places. They seem who they are, but do you have any way of figuring out if they're hiding anything?
Technically.
I was thinking her divine sense.
Oh.
If it'd pick up anything hinky. We've been dealing with a lot of undead demons and weird stuff. I just want to make sure these guys are on the up and up. I know of Silverhand. I don't know the other two.
I was actually thinking of her blind sight. If it's
Or that.
picking up any like illusions or anything.
No.
Anything weird. But
Just with our small trip to the Feywild, I don't think Taz's name would have came up, so I'm not worried. I don't think we would come up with anything for that, and I don't know the other two because it's not part of what he would research.
Mordenkainen
but
is
Zenith would not.
pretty powerful wizard. There's
Okay.
really, I mean, not much to know about him besides that, from
Yeah.
what I remember. But
I just get a sense that these three are working together because they have to, not they want to.
Yeah, but did you notice that the Mord Sith guy refused to say anything when my zone of truth was up?
well, he
But
didn't
if
say
you did that
anything.
to me-
He didn't say anything before your zone of truth was up either.
That's a
And had
detail.
you done that,
We need
Yeah,
to
you
focus
did that
on
to me out
before.
of- I know, but had you and I never met and you just randomly came up to me and put the Zone of Truth in front of me, I would probably knock your teeth out.
Why?
Yeah. Also, the audacity of assuming that your zone of truth is going to affect essentially 3 archmages.
Very powerful people
is,
brought us here.
It didn't even
I
affect
like
me.
the-
It's not going to affect them.
I like
Well, that's
the
because you're a normally honest person,
Are
I
you-
think.
Can you claim
Should
they
I
aren't?
cast it
You don't
again?
know them.
I twitches a little on that one.
No, my charisma's not that good. I just got lucky.
Well, yeah.
Can I trust you?
I'm mainly wondering.
No.
No. I mainly want to know if Esther would think to look to see if there's
I don't
anything
think.
else going on.
I mean, she might do an insight check, but she knows who these three are.
Yeah.
The problem is that Divine Sense only tells you celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Which they probably.
what is that actually going to
Yeah.
tell us?
Nothing major. I was more thinking if there's anything like hidden, like is one of them under an illusion or
Divine
just
Sense
I think her
won't say
her
that.
blind sight might be better if it could penetrate anything. Yeah.
Because without
What's
doing
the
an
range?
actual it's just 10 feet, but we've been within 10 feet of each of them.
Yeah. I just don't know if Mariana would do it or not.
I mean, it
But
doesn't
Xenos is a
cost
little
anything, so
weird.
we can if you want to,
No.
but I don't think she would have.
Okay, then nope, that's fine. Okay. We've been dealing with a lot of weird things, and the situation for Xenos is good, but there's still something hidden, I think, between the three of them.
Can
Not
I
that it
just
matters
have
right now.
Esther do just a vibe check on Xenos' suggestion? Just make sure that what they're acting like and what they've said matches up with what she's read about them.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the best we would do.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that works.
Okay, yeah, it's not bad. 21.
21?
Yeah, for insight.
I mean, she immediately, again, pulling out the records and all she knows about all three of them, she kind of scans them in turn, turns to Illustrial, seeing what she's like kind of all about. And again, she knows that she's, despite her looking as young as she does, she knows she's at least like 7 centuries old. She is kind of, she didn't want to toot her own horn, but it kind of matches up what she said. Like, you kind of trust maybe me a bit more about the others, because she is absolutely beloved throughout their room. Like, she's known for her kindliness and using her incredible magical power to protect the innocent, especially as an immortal daughter of Mystra. She's taken that quite seriously, especially as the High Mage of Silver Moon at one time. She kind of scans Mordekainen. He's everything that she kind of knew he would be. Like, he's renowned for his bravery as well as his intelligence. Perhaps not his judgment so much, but he's a very powerful wizard. He has been known to lead this very famous council known as the Circle of Eight. All about trying to keep the balance in the multiverse. So she, again, that kind of checks out for her. She goes, yeah, it seems to be kind of trying to keep everything, spinning. And Tasha's just Tasha. Like, he knows that this woman is chaos incarnate. She is actually, funnily enough, pretty much from the same world that Mordekainen and Vecna are from Earth.
Yeah.
She's a renowned demonologist. She's an adopted daughter of Baba Yaga. Basically considered the multiverse's foremost authority on the abyss. Since she basically authored a fabled book known as the Demonomicon of Igwilf. She is as fickle as she thought as all the books and texts that she kind of read about her are. She knows that she can be quite flippant, but it can't be doubted that she has proven to be a very powerful ally, especially to Alestriel. And it looks, again, she checks that vibe between them, and they do seem to have like a balance between them. They kind of seem to kind of even each other out. While Alestriel might be a bit too maybe nice, Natasha kind of keeps it, he kind of balances it out by keeping it real and blunt. So that seems to work. That seems to kind of match the records of what she knows about these people. So.
If it's important enough for Tasha to involve herself, then it's a problem.
Okay. Yeah, that's all. He just wanted to double check his own vibe check, basically. As long as someone else recognizes the fact that we can take them for what they're saying, even though they're not probably giving us everything. But if they're not doing it anything directly other than trying to wish for something to happen, then they can't really do a lot themselves right now. So yeah, he's pretty much ready. Okay. Thanks, Esther.
Do you guys have any idea? I'm kind of saying this to the three of them, not the group. Sorry, the three mages.
Yeah.
Do you know what, if anything? I assume that the rod is being guarded, the pieces of it or something. Do you know what we're trying to
Up again?
get into? Exactly.
And where exactly are we being dropped? I've never been there. I've just read about it.
We've been, but
Mordekainen looks between
not long.
the three of them. You were asking about the Underdark, then.
Right.
Well, it's not sure what you've heard of the Underdark, but it can be a perilous place. Beautiful, but perilous. All manner of creatures inhabit it, from Myconids to Durga, and I believe you have your rock gnomes there too. The place you're going specifically, though, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is quite dangerous. This is a sanctum of Loth's disciples. It's like, I believe, an outpost that's not known to a lot of people. So, I hope you are prepared. I'm going to be very honest with you. It's not going to be an easy outing.
I'm ready.
Okay. We are just about to become 4 extremely wanted people in a lot of odd places.
This might be a weird request, or just if something maybe someone could look into for when we get back. Also, did they tell us how we're getting back?
Yeah, what's our exit strategy?
Oh wait, once we get it, it'll
you
tell
can
us
ask.
where the next one is. But
right, yeah.
but we still need somewhere to go in between to rest up.
Can
Yeah.
you
They
check
didn't
in on
say,
us
but
on
you
a
can
daily
ask.
basis, maybe?
Once we do get it, I know it'll lead us to the next one, but we'll probably need to rest up in between. Is there a way for us to get somewhere else or back here? Do you have something?
Excellent question, but do not worry. The portal that'll take you there will take you back to the sanctum. Once your work is complete.
Okay. So
Do we
grab it
have
and
to
come
get back to
we
where it
did
drops us off, or will it show up when we have found the item?
It will be exactly where it drops you off. If you perhaps as you requested, and you see he looks at Alastro, who seems to have just kind of gone off into the adjacent room, and she comes back. What seems to be like let's say 3. Let's say 3. 3 scrolls, and see she kind of comes over, all graces towards you, Milo. She goes, "I assume you are. Yes, you are the cast. There's the wizard. These are for you." And she hands you 3 scrolls of, I guess, teleportation. Okay, let's make it 2 teleportation, 1 plane shift, just to cover her bases.
Yeah.
Word of recall would work too, if it's cast now.
Well, that's interesting.
I don't know that one.
I think that takes a while to do,
believe
doesn't
that
it?
is. Yeah, I mean, think you could. It's technically a cleric spell, but she could give you a scroll of it.
Because I
You can
can't
attempt to.
use that. And
I can't use that.
are you a cleric on
Lazarus
this one,
could.
Peter?
Yes.
Lazarus.
Okay, you are.
Lazarus could. You would have to request it, though.
I'd rather have the spell scrolls, because between the two of us, I'm less likely to go down. So if we have to choose who's going to be up to cast it, it's probably me.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
I do tend to fall.
I'm just harder to kill.
You see, not sure if you say that out loud, but Tasha would laugh at that.
I would like a scroll of invulnerability.
Oh, of course. Right this way. She goes to the room and comes back with a scroll and gives it to you. And
Seriously?
as
This is
you go to
fuck you.
take it, Illustrial snatches it off and goes, "That is not. That is not. No." She goes,
Darn
"No."
it!
What?
You just
Come
wrote
on.
invulnerability on it, and here you go.
Yeah, 100%.
She goes, I would kindly ask you not to give him such a dangerous fireball scroll that will explode on himself. It's like,
Fireball!
oh.
It's alright. If you really need that, I've got a pack for today. I would be happy to cast Firewall on you, Lazarus.
That's okay. That's not what I asked for.
Okay. Do you guys have... If not, I would appreciate maybe if you could find it while we're away. I feel like it might be useful for me personally. I don't know what the others might need, but... and I'm just gonna, like, not pull a page out of my notebook, but, like, sketch a little page of notebook with a little description of what the item does. I would love a Headband of Wisdom. Whether they have one on them now, or if it's just, like, a wish list thing, that's fine.
Me too.
Like, my charisma, if something happens with that, I'm okay with it, but if we're about to go into the Underdark with both people, I would rather not get mind controlled. And wisdom is my worst stat.
I would
Headband of Wisdom.
pretty much only thing.
It's like a headband of
Xenos
intellect,
would
but for
want.
wisdom. I don't know if it's a real thing or if I
Mhm.
made it up, but it just puts your wisdom
think
to
you made it up.
19 like the headband of intellect does for intelligence.
Interesting.
You made it up.
You know what? Little
I might have made it up.
I
It
think you
should be one anyway. I don't know why. No, it's not a no.
There
one.
should be one,
There
but
should be a headband for
because there's
everything.
the con one, there's the intelligence one, there's the gauntlets, but I
yeah,
don't
like-
know that there's a wisdom
The
one.
only, just the Ioun stone, I think.
Yeah, which doesn't get it to 19.
I
It
was
just gives you a
thinking that.
bonus,
Just a
right?
plus
Yeah.
2. Like,
Yeah, something like that.
She's right. That's literally what I thought of. And it doesn't up it all the way.
Easy to homebrew something though.
No, I literally already did. It's in my inventory. I just couldn't remember if I'd homebrewed it or if it was a real item.
Okay.
Here, you can just.
know
It's
what?
exactly the same as a
Since you went
headband of
to the effort
intellect.
of homebrewing, I suppose, as you kind of ask around, do you have something like that? You see, Tasha goes, Now that's more like it. And she reaches into what seems to be a small pouch, but you feel like it's more like a pouch of holding. She kind of pulls her hand, pulls out, and she says, "It's what you expect from her. It's like a tiara. It's what you would almost not so much a
100%.
tiara, but it's more like a crown, but it's kind of like edgy, and it's kind of like almost seems to be made out of ebony, kind of like metal, and so it's like jagged, like a jagged crown almost." And she goes, "Yeah, that should be wise enough for you, right?"
Thank you. I do appreciate that.
Definitely cursed.
Put it on. I'm
Definitely
okay with it. All right. I love Tasha. I will let her curse me. That lady is hot and she's mean. I love her. Okay, and I put it on.
Okay.
I will. During our travel, I will unattune to my, and I'm so sad to do it because I love my cloak of protection, but I'm gonna unattune to my cloak of protection and attune to the headband instead.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm sad about it, but my AC is pretty good anyway, so it's fine.
Ooh, would I want to drop my cloak of displacement for a cloak protection?
It's up to you. I don't
Might
mind
be a better
swapsies.
option. We like +1. Pete, you're muted.
Can I have a charm of rerolls?
No. Yeah, no, I think the only thing Xenos would want is any extra notes they have on Vecna in the cult that we already don't know. I would love a copy of their notes because we're the ones we're the ones going in there. So anything additional they have, that's about the only thing Xenos would want from them. Because the more knowledge for us, the better. Even though I know these three are not the best at giving out knowledge. Without a price.
Some more than others. Some are
Yeah.
more reserved with what they
Yeah.
offer.
Yeah.
Sure. I think that's easy enough to accommodate, unless you're
Okay.
here's your out, because I feel that that's only fair. She goes to a different room, you assume it's like their library, comes back, and gives you this tome. It's a weathered tome, but it's imbibed with, what's it called? This aura to it, and it's
Okay.
a bleak-looking book, but it's it's looks like a thick tome as well. And she hands it to you. She goes, "I find that the this particular tome might be useful. It's pretty much what we know about him, and so maybe some of the annotations we have made too about the Lich God, basically." And you see the book is known as just like God of Lies. And you notice that it was authored by her.
Oh, okay, it's your own person. Okay, I like that. Yep.
I know what I would like. I would like some potions of healing, because I tend to fall down and go boom.
You see,
There's
you see
that.
Tasha goes, "Aww, you trip over yourself, little kobold." Aww. Elastra just
Still
rolls
getting
her
used to his
eyes.
tail.
She goes,
Still
"Yes,
getting used to his tail.
yes, we." If
I have a tail.
she roll,
That explains so
roll
much.
me, roll me a d. No, roll me a d4 plus 4.
Okay. 1 plus 4.
5. Gotcha. Alright. Let's just double check that.
Good ass, Lazarus. I meant to do that, then I
Anyways.
forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nah, good job. You see? He's doing stuff. Actually.
Those are superior healing,
You
right?
may... I mean... I suppose... Like, that's what they had in mind, believe it or not. Sure. You may have 5 potions of superior healing.
Okay.
Dope.
I
love
will
sugar
give
mommies.
I will give 1 to each of my other teammates and keep the others.
Appreciate that.
So 3 teammates, that gives me 2. Okay. Math.
Yeah.
I have a total of 3 of them now. Because I already had 1. Which I forgot to use when I went boom.
Between the healing between you, Astra, the healing potions, and the Rod of Resurrection, I think we're good for healing.
Yeah, Esther already has 2 superior healing potions.
Oh, you guys are never gonna die.
So
So
if you want to
it
give
still happen
one
if all
more,
4 of us go at the same time.
I think maybe we give one to the extra instead of to Esther. We give the other to Xenoth. You want to? Because you're pretty quick, so if we need to, you might be able to get us one. Because if she already has 2, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave healing us to you guys, so I'll keep one just as a backup in case. But I think you all having multiple is better than me having more than one.
Sounds good.
Because I can also grab it off your body and just shove it in if I need to.
Okay.
And
He doesn't have a lot on him.
That works.
It wouldn't even
Xenoth,
be hard to find it on Xenoth. There's nothing else there. It's just
Xenoth,
One
sometimes my adult brain doesn't know when to heal people. So if you feel I need to heal somebody, please tell me. I trust
If
you.
I'm bleeding from more than one place, I probably need it.
That was more of a nod to Brandon, who was a better healer.
Actually, just use
I
them
suppose.
instead of waiting. It's like, oh, you're here. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Free spell slots.
If you can see that I am injured, you should probably heal me because it's hard to do that.
True. Okay.
Okay. Keep your
I
token
think we
updated.
have. I think we have everything we need.
We'll tell you, don't worry. We get it.
And if
Anything
you guys
else
come
we can
across,
provide you?
just if you come across anything else relevant, please let us know. If we're going to be at the forefront of this is going to take a while.
We will be taking all that time to research anything that may assist you and any weaknesses that you may be able to exploit against Vecna and his minions.
And if you find any significant underlings that we should know about, because obviously he's our biggest problem, but that doesn't mean that there aren't higher up people under him that might pose a significant enough threat. We should know about them beforehand.
If we're here to just drop the... Be a good way. Yeah.
You broke up, Xenos. You want to repeat that last part?
Basically, we were sent here to disrupt whatever he's doing, his ritual. So yeah, his underlings, I would assume, are in charge of that ritual, or helping him somehow. So if we can disrupt as many of his people that he relies on, the better.
Yeah. What were you saying, Lazarus?
Let's do this.
Oh, okay. Just ready to go. All right. To the Underdark, I guess.
Right.
Yep.
Up and away.
I did not see the sun in a long time.
What? Wait.
Right.
Poof.
before you go poof and disappear, just real quick before you leave, I know you didn't ask, but I think it's important for those that don't know about Sigil, how the rules work here. So those scrolls I gave you should be able to lock on to the Sanctum's teleportation circle. But please don't try and attempt to teleport, or try to attempt to teleport into Sigil itself, or close by. It won't work. Things like banishment, planar travel, are very restricted here. It's fine within my sanctum. Not entirely sure how or why the Lady of Pain allowed me to maintain such a place in her realm, but here we are. But I will just be careful with how you use those scrolls. Obviously, you don't want to be using them just cause. Emergencies only, I assume.
Yes.
Yes. Just a general warning to all of you about how that magic works. Especially summoning. Summonings also could be a little bit volatile outside the sanctum, so just giving you a bit of a heads up.
Appreciate
also, she kind of looks at all of you. I did pick up a little bit of something, not that I think any of you are working for Vecna, but I did pick up a bit of something, like a shadow of a thought. Do any of you have any time? I know I asked this before, but have you experienced anything weird when it comes to Vecna? Any kind of slivers of power connections? No, she looks
Lazarus will immediately glare at the one he doesn't trust. Mordenkainen, whatever his name is.
Mordenkainen.
I feel like Raz is trying to prompt us into remembering something that I don't remember.
It's okay, Raza will tell you. Yes.
Yeah.
Raza, help!
I'm pretty sure
what are we forgetting?
She was going to tell you in-game anyway. She goes, I feel like, I don't know, when I look at all of you, I feel like there's threads that seem to tie you to Vecna somehow. I want to be careful with that. He is the god of secrets, so be careful. Just a general warning.
We have learned a few weird things,
well,
so maybe that's part of it.
Yes, I think we were all pulled somewhat in this direction. I believe to fight against him, but I suppose the threads would feel the same. gold either way.
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay.
I don't like that,
Well,
but
as long as you're aware of that
That is good to know.
connection. Right. Well,
maybe we
I
can
shall
use it
keep you. She.
in a
Maybe.
good light.
Does your sanctum have a name for when I use if we have to use the teleportation? I know it's written in the circle, but should we call it anything if we need to call out to it or?
You see,
Bob.
she looks a bit. It's interesting. She seems almost a bit abashed, a little embarrassed. She goes, "Oh, it's just the Sigil Sanctum," and she goes, "I told her to workshop the name, but she seems just to not really care about it. Maybe we could offer some suggestions." She looks at all of you.
We'll work on that while we're gone and come back with some suggestions for names.
And Tasha,
The Silver Sanctum.
Tasha, there's something I need to tell you. You have wonderful
Yes.
fingernails. They're very pretty.
I'm glad.
Right.
I'm glad someone noticed. And you see, she looks at the other two, and yeah, they're like polished black, like just almost dark as midnight kind of nails that seem to just gleam in the light of continual flames that adorn the sanctum. She goes, "Well, that's the first useful and flattering thing you said all day. Now off you go."
Lazarus will whisper to Milo, I thought the blonde's name was Tasha.
I just kind of shove him through the portal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as you
Right.
guys are pushed through,
Like, can he see in the dark?
Mordecai goes, "What?"
I don't care.
No, I know.
Mordecai goes, "I think what she was trying to say is good luck. The Wizards 3 will be here when you return." And you pass through the Deus portal,
The
and
Wizards 3.
immediately all of you find yourselves at Wizards 3. I don't know if anyone was looking back or not, but if you did, you would have seen that Tasha cringed at that.
Wizards 3? Yeah.
Already assumed that.
We are the Adventurers.
A lot of
4.
names that seem to be in dire need of a workshop.
Yeah, we'll workshop that as we're. I'm sure there'll be walking involved. We'll figure it out.
As you step through, maybe seeing or visualizing Tasha's cringe, you all step out into the Underdark of Faerun, and it is as dank and dark as you had maybe imagined, or maybe not. You emerge through a door-shaped fissure. It's basically almost like it's really claustrophobic. It's like a door, but again shaped like a fissure, and it's seemingly abandoned corridor that seems to be outside what seems to have once been a hidden entrance, not so much to you, to this place known as Web's Edge. There's no light source, and the invisible portal back to Sigil, and you kind of feel like it's invisible because you guys can kind of see it, but also kind of can't. You can kind of see through it. And you kind of feel that reassurance that yes, that portal will be there when you come back. This is what you all see as you emerge into the Underdark.
As Lazarus comes out, he'll narrate, and so the Adventurers 4 stepped through the portal and into the Underdark.
This is a place
I'm gonna-
to be very, very quiet, Lazarus.
Very quiet.
Okay.
Can all of you
Okay.
see in the dark?
Yeah. Just tap my
can.
goggles.
I think.
Do we all
Should
have
our
dark
map
vision?
be changing?
No, we all have dark vision now, I think.
Okay.
Soon enough.
Lazarus, you have dark vision, right?
I think so. I can see. I can see in the dark, but everything's kind of grayish.
Good. Yes.
Then I will put my drift globe
We're
away.
good. Yeah. The least we can do to be noticed until we want to be is
Yep.
best in these sorts of places.
I know.
It's a good thing
I'm
y'all
just
told
gonna, like-
Lazarus that we need to be quiet because he was going to yell out to hear his echo.
I know.
Mm.
Let's
Well.
find out what. Let's find our start of our journey, I guess.
I'm immediately gonna say, does any of you speak Undercommon in Undercommon?
What'd you say?
Esther
Quit
does.
mumbling.
Yeah, what you call me?
Esther answers you
good.
in Undercommon.
Ah,
I speak
good.
everything. Of course I know Undercommon. You fool.
Good.
That's me. That's not Esther.
I know. I had a feeling you might, but my accent is horrendous. It's been a while since I've learned this, so I might need to practice a little. But at least it's just not me. So if we can keep our ears out,
Oh,
this is all they
Xenos,
speak down here. So
did you want to switch cloaks
ooh,
while
I
we have
think
the
it's
time?
a
Maybe.
smart idea. I think it's a smart idea. I'll take the cloak. Yeah, I'll add a
Yeah,
cloak of protection.
okay.
I think that might be better than the cloak of displacement.
Hey, Peter, what do you have for attuned magic items right now?
I have Gauntlets of Ogre Power, Staff of Healing, and Amulet of the Devout.
Okay.
I don't really want to lose any of those, though.
No.
Okay.
Until
'Cause
Raza
I
figures
know
out
what
what he was going to give me, I will switch to that.
Yeah, Esther's. Mm. Yeah, Esther's
So
full
that'll
up
help.
for now. I won't change anything that she's using.
Okay.
I would say that might be better than one of the items she has, but I will leave that up to her
Okay.
in
Yeah.
case
If
she
you want
wants
it, I'll
to
keep the
swap
cloak.
cloaks
Yeah.
with you. Yeah,
Yep, that works for me. I'll keep it for now.
just a chain
session,
of,
take
of
it- Yeah.
swapping. Yeah.
Esther's awfully quiet today. How are you feeling, Esther? I whisper.
Low power mode.
Yeah.
Just tunes you out. Start scanning like the
Information mode
environment.
activated.
Ritual casting, detect magic.
Engaging,
Ritual casting,
engaging
detect magic.
anti-kobold protocols.
Oh, God.
There's a lot of them.
That was a recent upgrade, clearly.
Yeah.
First thing they did. Alright, so you find yourselves, I guess, facing this, basically this, what seems to be like a stone arch, but you don't see anything else aside from that. The only one that technically would see anything if she got 10, at least a little bit closer, is Estra, because she has blind sight. And she would see that where there is just like a rock, and just like seems to be like a cabin wall. There seems to be this, because it's like a door-shaped fissure, right? So she sees that where you guys don't see anything unless you have dark vision or some way of seeing through invisibility. There's a 10-foot wide doorway that seems to be also very similar to the portal. Seems to be like cloaked, and it's like this large iron doors that seem to be in place in the rock wall.
Xenoth,
It
you're
looks formidable.
sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all right. Go ahead.
You're good at remembering things, right?
This
Do you have keen
character.
mind on this one?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
You did,
I got
that's
Mage Slayer, Magic Initiate, and Scion of the Underplane.
okay. All right.
That's
So
Ash remembers everything.
before we do anything else, I want everyone to look around where we are right exactly now and try and retain as much information about it as possible because this is where we have to come back to leave.
Right.
Because none of us above table have keen minds, so just in case we need to like quick escape get back here, which we probably will. I don't know, Raza,
Along
if
the
we can
way,
roll anything for like a a survival or just like a perception or something,
I'd
just to try and
say
lock in where exactly we are right
I'd
now?
say it would be a little bit from column A and column B. So do a perception check, and depending on how well you do, you have advantage on
Okay.
survival, and then you'll see how well you remember your
I could
landmarks.
start making markings like symbols we would recognize, so we could follow them.
Oh,
That's
yeah, that
what
could be
I
part
was
of your
thinking,
survival
but I
check.
don't have any chalk to put a mark on the wall.
I was just going to use my primal savagery and just etch a claw mark or something and follow the claw marks.
I'm only reluctant to do that if something else follows it back.
Well, in
The
that
breadcrumb
case, the
trail,
Wizards 3 will get quite the surprise.
Yeah.
Like
Which
I could do it in
probably not good.
celestial. Or
Let's
just
just
like
see
a
if we can
number
remember.
system.
Ooh, those are really good actually. So for perception,
I know.
Yeah.
Etch an arrow that points the opposite direction than you want them to go. That way, anybody follows it, they'll go the wrong way.
I got a 23. Estra got a 19 for perception.
I got
nice.
a 14.
Dang.
And just to say,
Because my perception is good now,
if-
you guys.
if you had-
Thanks,
Mine's not.
thanks, Cran.
if
Nice.
you had rolled a nat 1 there, Peter, I would have just said that Lazarus would have forgot that he did that, and he would have
Fell
got
off a
confused.
cliff.
when he
What's
saw
portal? Yeah.
How did we get here? Who are you?
Where are we again?
14 successful.
What happened?
That way!
I've
Into the pit.
forgotten everything again.
Yeah, sure. So let's have a look at those rolls. Okay.
So Lazarus,
Sorry.
the main thing you need to know about where we currently are and what we're doing. Do you know much about the Underdark?
I know absolutely nothing about anything because I'm from another planet.
Nothing here likes you, and nothing here is your friend other than us. Everything
Even
here
if
is
it
your
looks
enemy.
nice.
Everything here.
What
wants
if it
to
looks
kill
like you?
That's probably worse.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Although
Then we should have a code word in case somebody looks like one of us. Let's call it Bob. I really like the name Bob.
why not?
Sure.
Yay!
Okay. Well, for the
So
yeah,
where?
I would say that everyone except Lazarus can have advantage on their survival check.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
Thanks. But it
That's
trains.
You did it to
Got a nat
yourself.
1.
I can add guidance to that if I need to.
Sure. You can.
6.
Oh, guidance! Yeah.
19.
26
Wow.
for me. Esther
Mine
did
went
not
up
do
to a
well.
17 because
19.
of guidance.
I think as an average, all of you more or less kind of mark your surroundings, and you kind of more or less know how to get back here once you've been through.
Okay.
So to get, that'll probably give you advantage on your way back.
Okay.
No, it will. Not
Yeah,
probably, it will.
I'll probably for me, just for my own personal thing, I'll probably use my primal savagery, extend a claw, and just like do an etching of my symbol of Horus Ray, just somewhere, so I know it's here.
Well, that symbol of what?
Horus Ray.
Horus Ray.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just put his
Gotcha.
eye. Yep.
Right. Cool. Yeah. Cool.
Just somewhere where I can remember and like look, almost like looking at where we gotta walk.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. Let's see where this takes us, I guess.
Get a bit of a for a map. There's a path.
As
Let's walk.
Astra's kind of doing her like scans again. She goes, "There's 8 symbols carved into the rock." Because she reads Undercommon,
Uh-huh.
she
So do I.
goes,
Yep.
It spells out web's edge, which confirms where you are.
I guess
I
that's
didn't
where we're
see
supposed
that.
to be
So,
then.
She kind of
Interesting.
reaches to I think she would examine the door because she always does this. I think she would
Mhm.
investigate for booby traps, etc.,
Yeah.
etc. Because that's very Astra.
You got it. Investigation.
And I just realized Lazarus has the cartographer's tool skill. So he can just do a doodle map to get back.
A doodle map, sure. So,
So that'll give me advantage. It's in crayon.
19.
19's enough for her
Yeah.
to notice the most obvious thing about these doors. She goes, sealed tight. She looks at you, magically by the looks of it.
Oh, alright, yeah. Did I pack that today? Let's
Are
find
we
out.
going through those doors?
I did pack it today. I'm smart. I'm the wizard.
I'll go open the door.
They're magically
You can't.
locked.
you
Lazarus.
literally try, and it's just like it is the most impenetrable thing ever.
I'll put my feet against the door and pull on the knob.
How long are we gonna let him do that?
Okay, I'm gonna wait for him to like pull with all his weight really hard and then unlock it so that it'll swing open and knock him on his ass.
Go, Lazarus.
I'll just
Put
go.
some oomph into it.
So I'm prone.
3, 2, 1.
And I will. Alright, but watch out, guys, because this is gonna be loud. So, actually, I wonder.
Can you
I'm
muffle?
strong. I opened it.
No, sorry, I was seeing if.
Yeah, knock is not quiet.
It specifically is loud. I don't have silence, and neither does Estra.
No. Oh,
Wait,
I
do
see what
I?
you're thinking. Yeah, I like that idea.
I was
Yep.
thinking if she had it, she could
Silence the area
silence
first.
the area of the door,
The area
but not
first,
me,
yeah.
so I could knock
Yep.
it, but
Yep, nothing
I
will
don't
come
have
through. I
it
like
yeah,
that.
it'd be interesting.
Yeah, I like that idea.
But no, just heads up, guys. It's gonna be loud for a second, but it'll get us. It should get us through.
Just blame it on the kobold who thinks he's opening the door.
I always do. All right,
Okay.
ready? And I will. I'm actually gonna go up and I'm going to just like make a knocking motion on like the back of Lazarus's head and ping it through him into the door and then have it knock him over.
Whoa. And inadvertently unlocks a memory. No.
And I will DM cast knock.
Cast knock. Right.
Yes.
I felt that was a good build up to it. As Lazarus, like, you feel that magic kind of go through you.
He
It's like
turns purple with
This
the
vibration. Yeah, he's like, and it passes through you into the door, and the door itself just starts to shudder, and for a brief second, all you see the ward that is the arcane lock that's sealing it kind of shimmer, and then it starts to vibrate like glass, you know, like this, and then shatters, and it's loud, but it's very brief, like. And the
Wait,
door
the door
itself,
broke?
the clunk.
No.
No, the
I
barrier,
suppressed the
ward around
lock
it
for 10
shattered.
minutes so we can go through it.
Yeah. So with that, the door, there's a clunk on the other side. You see, Astra looks at you, goes, "That'll do it."
I'm glad I had a pack
Was
today.
my
she might
pleasure.
lead the way.
Yeah. Everyone, be prepared for everything.
Yep.
Lazarus stands
Now
up,
you get
dusts off his bottom from landing on his rope. Uh-oh.
Let's see what comes at us.
There's a
Yeah, I
spot.
would definitely like think there's guards on the other side of this door and be ready to just depending on what comes through, I'd probably try to talk first. But I do have something prepped.
What do you have prepped? What's up your sleeve?
Just to toss my boomerang. It's my monk
Okay.
weapon. It does the same damage as my fist,
All right, sounds good.
but it's ranged.
Cool.
Yeah.
DM, because I know holding actions and stuff is a little tricky, right? Now,
Yeah.
I know if you hold a spell and it doesn't get triggered, you lose the spell slot anyways, right?
It all depends on the DM.
Yeah.
Some are lenient.
Rules is written that that's
But
how
yeah,
it works, right? Because it
Yeah.
also takes
Yeah,
your
that's
reaction.
technically true.
Mhm.
So if
Yeah,
I'm
it's
using
your
my
reaction.
reaction to hold my well, I guess technically blade singing is no, because I can use it. Yeah, if I hold a blade song,
Mhm.
because that's a bonus action, but it doesn't technically have like. Can I just like indefinitely hold that until we get attacked and it activates, or will it? It's just using my reaction.
I will allow it. You can use it
Okay.
as your reaction. Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
I'll have
Let's see
my
why not.
swords drawn, obviously. I'm just going to
Mhm.
keep them ready to essentially slide them against each other to activate the blade song um
Mhm.
at the first sign that we're about to get attacked.
Yeah.
I'll just
Yeah,
have
sounds
that
good.
ready.
All right. All right. So off you go. So I assume Astro goes first, and you
Oh,
find yourselves
you guys, my AC is
stepping
only
through
going to
the
be
iron doors.
24 now. That's so sad. Anyways, yes, Estra will go first.
So
I'll go after her.
okay.
Xenoth, uh,
So
Lazarus, who wants to
let me put
go
him
after
there.
me? Who's bringing up the rear?
I'll bring up the rear.
You okay? So Lazarus here behind me.
Yeah. Yeah, my passive perception and investigation aren't terrible. Investigation is better, but I think I'd rather because I'm a little taller than you guys, I can kind of see over your heads an inch.
Yeah.
Um, so I can at least still see where we're going. Yeah, I think I'll take up the back,
Okay.
even though he wants to be in the front. He's also recognizing
He
Estra
doesn't.
wants
He
to be in
shouldn't
the
be.
front. So it's like you guys are a little bit more beefier than him. So it's like I'll stay in the back. That's fine. I'll keep
Yeah.
an eye on the back.
Yeah.
All right. So as Astra steps through first, and then any of you that can probably see over her shoulders, you all see uh, this. Basically, the scene that comes at you is what seems to be the remains of a mold-covered uh, wagons, like broken down. There seems to be barrels that seem to languish in this large foyer, which is what it is. There's humanoid skeleton remains that kind of lie strewn about. Their swords and armor bent and rusted, kind of like in the image that you saw.
Mhm.
Something shiny seems to be gleaming next to the bodies propped up along the northern wall. The double doors on the east, northeast, and southeast walls are rusted shut by the looks of it. And there seems to be a semicircular chamber that opens in the southwest wall that contains a shrine. So I'll put Astra a little bit in there.
TM.
Yes.
This is a bit of a weird question,
Yes.
but
Hmm.
as I'm doing the knock and we're like passing through and stuff, is there a way to
Hmm.
try and just guesstimate like how long it's been since these doors were last opened?
Yeah, how much dust is here?
Hmm.
That's what I was just
Like
gonna say.
dust
Can I
or
do an
like
investigation
arcane
of
wise on when it was last unlocked or something?
All right. Do me an investigation check, I suppose.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I would definitely take a quick look too.
Esther's gonna help me
Sounds good.
because I can.
Ooh, 20,
Ooh,
30, 20.
not great. 18, which is sad because I have really good investigation. Just rolled
18.
trash.
Now I got
All
a plus
right.
6.
Yeah, it's not great.
Uh,
8.
it seems as it's more Xenoth than anyone else kind of like scrutinizes it. And it seems that perhaps the doors were used not too long. You talking about the doors you knocked through, right?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
seem to be. They don't seem to have been left unused for a long time.
Okay.
There seems to some evidence that perhaps they were opened, maybe not like just now, but just maybe just before you
Mm-hmm.
did. But it seems like maybe someone came through maybe a day before. maybe a few hours before, but
Okay.
it's definitely not unused. It definitely has been used before recently.
Good to know. Thank you.
Hmm.
Interesting place.
Let's go look.
Yeah.
And where? Oh, there are the dead bodies.
Hmm.
What was down here
Yes.
again? Just a door. Is that right?
Yes. It seems to be like so there was obviously the chamber, there's like a few doors on the east, northeast, and southeast walls, yeah. That seem to be rusted shut, yeah.
You said there was something shiny over here, though?
Semicircular chamber, southwest. Something shiny indeed.
Yeah.
I'll just remind everyone, it's like, I'm pretty sure the Drow are very prone to setting traps for people because they don't like having people in their sanctum. So just be careful.
We're gonna go look at whatever that shiny thing
On
is,
closer
just in
inspection,
case, but...
you notice the gleams uh, seem to be emanating from rubies. They seem to keep giving out this like crimson shine.
Yeah, we're gonna go check that out.
Would you
Do you
like
want
some
to
light
check the
for the
door?
area?
No.
Okay. Just checking.
Thank you, though. Do you want to check the door down just so we don't get popped into from
Sure.
behind?
Okay.
Hey, Lazarus. Would you mind checking the
Yes.
door right in front of you? Don't open it. Just, see if it looks like there's any traps or it's been opened recently or if you hear
Okay,
anything
but
behind
just
it.
so you know, I can open it because I'm strong.
We have the same gloves.
Oh,
Yes,
you're
you are very
too.
strong. It's not that I don't think you can open it. I don't think we should open it until we know which of
Right.
these doors we want to open. That's all.
Like I said
I will.
before, Lazarus, we are in enemy territory. Careful. Quiet.
Oh, okay.
Precise.
I will slide a dagger under the door as a doorstop. I forget what they're called. A wedge. Yeah, as a wedge to keep the door shut. You're muted, Raza.
Oh, I got you, like a doorstop. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
gotcha. That was just nodding along to your
Okay.
plan.
Mm-hmm.
Door wedge. Got it.
Esther and I are gonna go without touching. We're gonna go see what's up with those diamonds and the dead
Okay.
bodies, or
Yep.
the rubies.
And the
Sorry,
dead bodies.
and the dead bodies.
Gotcha. All right.
They are vacuuming
So, with
above me, just to let you know. So if that comes through, I can mute myself.
Okay, no worries. We'll just put it down to lulth cultist activity if we hear a rumble.
Yeah.
True.
Immersion. I love it. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
Lazarus, you wedge your... What did you say you wedged under the door?
A dagger.
Knife?
A dagger with a
dagger,
little
right,
pommel that lifts it up so that it'll be. When it lays on the floor, it'll be like a
Do
wedge.
Okay. Actually... So I take it you wedge it in like trying to jam it in there. Is that right?
Yes, to keep the door locked shut.
Okay, do me an
Underneath.
athletics or strength check. Yeah, to see how well you do that.
Oh, this is
Strength
gonna be
is fine.
good. 22.
Seems pretty wedged. You're confident that it may be difficult for the door to be opened, but we'll see how that goes for you. As Ezra and Milo look at the bodies, first thing you notice that there seems to be two dwarves, an elf and a gnome, and a tiefling. That's what the bones seem to resemble. And obviously Astra is very suspicious. So with a keen eye, if you guys want to do an investigation check, you may
I'd love
absolutely see
to.
if you can spot anything unusual.
Yeah. 26.
Yeah. So you see Astra kind of like, without touching it, obviously, comes like within at least 5 feet of one of these rubies and goes, "Ha, fake,
Yeah.
typical."
Okay.
Yeah, it's a nasty trap. She looks around. So if you pick one of those up, it will detonate what seems to be a rune over there. And she points out, and you barely see it, but it's like there's like a glimmer underneath these like rubies. It seems to be like a trigger. You know, this could be either a glyph of warding or something of a similar
Yeah,
nature that would
yeah.
trigger on someone touching those rubies, and
That's
probably
just
blast you all to
thinking.
Kingdom Come.
Yep.
She goes, can't disable it, but we can easily just not touch it.
Yeah.
Unless she looks at Lazarus, and if Autonom could smile, she probably would. She goes, maybe next time.
Like I
Fine.
said, touch nothing. We're here for a job. Let's do the job.
I'll whisper back to the others. Don't touch the rubies. It's trapped. They're not real.
Oh, they're not real. Okay.
Nah, totally fake.
But they're
Okay.
shiny.
So,
No, you'll receive a violent electrical shock to probably end with your imminent demise. So, Lazarus,
You touch one?
don't touch it. She leaves that like a
You?
pause.
yeah.
I will resist. I hope.
Anything behind your doors?
I don't know. I didn't hear anything. Well, I guess I should have done a perception then.
Or just wedge the dagger under the door. That's what you did.
Yeah, I got a 7 perception, so I didn't hear a thing on the other side, but just to be safe, I wedged it shut.
Sure.
So nothing can attack us through it. And that dice is
Well.
in jail now.
There's no point trying to see up through all the doors. We may as well do one at a time and deal with what's there.
Yeah, we'll go check.
I'd rather not announce our presence to 3 different areas.
We're just gonna listen into that one and see if there's anything.
Yep.
So just to be clear, we cannot touch
Perception checks.
the red thingies.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't hear anything.
I got a 21.
Even with guidance, that's not going to help me at all.
21.
Yeah, Esther helps me, but
I got a 9.
So, as you.
I'm just taking
I suppose-
advantage from Estra for everything because she's not here. So
I know.
Might as well.
It's the easiest thing.
That's what she's there for.
I know. Like, I got a +4 to my perception, but I
As
think you
you-
guys got it a little bit better.
I have a +4 now.
Now, yeah.
She only has
As
a
you
+2,
focus
but she's
on-
got the advantage from the shield. So even so,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead, Russ.
That's alright. We'll eventually get to know what you hear. So as you focus on what could be any sounds that could give away what's happening, you do pick up what seems to be the faint sounds of chanting. Like it seems like chanting. An incantation.
What language?
Sure, not sure.
Any
Does
specific
anyone
language?
speak Abyssal?
I
Estra
think
speaks
Pete-
everything.
Sure, of course. She's like the Pokedex of D&D.
Exactly. Yeah, she literally speaks all languages.
Helm of Comprehend language is one of the best.
Yes.
Yep.
She's
Yep,
a
yep,
built-in helm.
Yep.
Basically, what she hears, it seems to be. First off, the voice sounds a bit high and pitchy. She's like,
It's
But
just some
it's
teenagers.
undeniably. Or someone small, I'm not sure. She kind of kind of goes, scanning. Oh, it's the summoning Aglavrezu demon. Someone tiny or very adolescent is summoning a demon behind a door.
Oh, that feels like something we should probably stop, but I'm not sure it's actually what we're here for. Can't be good, though.
As long as you-
Yeah.
Well,
Better to interrupt now than after
Yeah,
they're done.
after. Yeah, alright, I guess. Is the door locked?
You try it. It doesn't seem to open.
would you like me to, or would you like to? I'm pretty good at lockpicking.
You try it. If you can't, I can always knock it. But yours is quieter, so let's try that first.
All right. I will guide myself and sleight of hand. Oh, good thing I'm guiding myself. 17. I have a +9. I rolled terrible.
Roll terrible.
Yep.
I wouldn't say that's terrible. It's pretty good.
Well, I started off
Alright,
with a
so
4,
with
and then I got a
that-
4 on my guidance, so it kind of helps.
This is definitely the first thing you do notice is that unlike the heavy iron doors that you saw Milo basically suppress, these are not exactly sealed shut. Let me just double check that before I say that. They're not as sturdy. Let me just amend that. Not as sturdy as the door that led you in here, but this door seems to be reinforced by the same spell as the iron doors. So as you kind of try and lockpick it open, you feel like under normal circumstances it would have opened, but your lockpick kind of seems to be like something just there's like a ward that shimmers over the door and kind of like repels your lockpick from turning all the way.
Are the
and
hinges
Astro
on
is
this side?
Kind of. No.
Darn.
Does the door seem magically locked, or like maybe Xenoth just didn't quite get it?
Yes. It's
Magically
enough
locked,
you
okay.
feel it. Like again, like in normal circumstances, you could have opened it, but it seems to be magically shut.
Sorry, Milo.
All right, I'm gonna
That's
do it. It's
all.
gonna be loud. It'll interrupt. Get ready to rush in.
I cast Sanctuary on myself.
I already have Sanctuary on myself. Should we have Esther just we'll open the door and shoot immediately, or do you want to take a quick look in here? I honestly don't think there's anything we should try to talk down in here, which is really highly against what I normally do. But this is... I don't know.
I would love to take a look first, just because if this is just like stupid teenagers in the Underdark, just like we're gonna summon a demon. Like I don't. Just because the voice is high pitched, it's giving Milo a little bit of like a. This is 100% something Milo would have done as a teenager. Is like break into a building and try and summon a demon or something. Like
trying to find a friend. Yeah. Okay.
If you want to go in first, then because we can shoot, because Esther can shoot from the door, and I'll follow you.
Can I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you can. I can go in first if you want.
How about I shine some light on the situation when you open the door?
Yeah.
We'll start
I'll knock and open it myself.
Okay. I'm gonna cast daylight in there.
Yeah. So I'll cast knock on the door, and I'll pull it open.
I will use the drift globe and cast daylight inside.
Okay. The ward dissipates, the door swings open, you cast the globe in there, and I suppose the first person to peek in there sees that this room is dominated by an enormous pentagram that seems to be drawn in chalk, with seems to be stubby unlit candles placed at each of its 5 points. That covers the floor of this open chamber, and you see a hooded figure with hunched over a cluttered table in the southeast corner, mumbling profane phrases. Seems to be chanting. This is what they look like. You
just swearing in the corner. Goodness. Really is Milo as a teenager.
Swearing in the corner.
Oh yeah, that bitch crazy. That's not good.
Alright, so as the door does swing open, she's in the middle of what seems to be an intense kind of ritual. She seems to just notice you as you notice her, and her eyes go wide, and she immediately starts to try and chant fast. And with that, we shall leave it there, as we will see if you can stop her from
12 o'clock.
finishing her ritual.
Wait, we're ending?
Yeah,
o'clock.
it's 3 hours.
That's
It's
the
been
3 hour
3
mark.
hours
Yeah.
already?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has been. I've been keeping an eye on it. 'Cause
Time
it's
flies when
to
you're
go.
having fun, Pete.
Great.
Yep.
I know. Right.
In
So,
the Underdark.
Thank you for everyone
Nothing
joining
bad's
us
gonna
today.
happen.
It was fun. It was fast-paced. It was entertaining, at least for me anyway. Just seeing Peter as Tasha will never get old. I hope all of you enjoyed it. Announcements, I suppose, should be said by someone that knows the times correctly.
Oh,
Yeah,
I can do them
will-
in Eastern.
That's
Let's see.
correctly.
Yay, because I'm always right. Anyways, here we go. Vecna, Eve of Ruin, ending right now. Anyways, Humblewood tonight at 7 p.m.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're included. Humblewood is tonight at 7. That's Brandon. We have Astoria tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. That's DM'd by Peter that I am playing in. Which is fun. Wednesday at 7:30. It looks like I believe that is one of your one shots, Pete. Right? Game night.
Yes.
Grand Basilisk Egg Hunt. That should be interesting. Thursday is Mario's Qual College. 7:30. And then Saturday morning at 10 a.m. we have Strixhaven, which Raza runs, and some of us playing. Sunday we should have Curse of Strahd at 7:30 p.m.
Oh, actually, I'm not 100% certain, but I think it was canceled.
It's not canceled on the calendar, but whether it is or not is
Last session was.
check
I
the
don't know about
Discord
this
for
session.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll mention it, even though it's a week away. Next Monday at 7 p.m., Brandon's new mini-series campaign starts, which will be very interesting. You should all go watch that. So that is next Monday at 7 p.m.
It's going to be in Discord. Yep.
In the Discord, yes. So join the Discord if you have not, and you'll be able to watch that, and some other games that are also on the Discord exclusively.
Yep.
I did it!
Learn what happens when 5 people are immediately reborn at the very same time. No memory of who they are, how they got there, and oops, all reborn. It's going to be fun.
Oops, all reborn.
Oops, all reborn. Interesting.
Check it
And
out.
just to finish off, I suppose, the announcements. Next Vecna, I will be away, because I got a wedding to attend. So there'll be no...
Yay.
You'll have to wait a little bit to die in the Underdark, I'm sorry. But we probably can come back to that in due time. So on the 28th, I won't be here, so we can probably schedule something else if you guys want to do that in the meantime. But otherwise, we'll just have to wait and see. All right, so I think that's it. Thank you everyone for joining. Take it easy. May the dice roll ever in your favor, and peace out.
Bye!
Bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
What if you could have your heart's deepest desire? The divine power to transform your life for the right price. An eye for an eye. Flesh for a crown. Wretched mortality for glorious eternity. Rise with me. For who can stop a god?